Hey everyone, and welcome to Comics from the Multiverse, the DC Comics podcast from MailFuzz TV. I am Peter, and joining me as always is Matt.
Hey, what's up?
And Connor's here too.
Yes, I am.
We talk about DC Comics. And coming up on this week's show, we will be discussing Batman issue 71, Superman 11, Justice League 24, Aquaman 48, and Naomi issue 5. It's a very quiet week for books. There's only 5 of them. Which is why we'll also have some questions from our listeners via the Twitters, and we have solicits to look through as well. So, you know, should be a reasonable show, despite the lacking number of books. So, yeah.
Thank God for solicits coming early now, right?
No?
Is it early?
It was usually the Monday, before the third week. It was before the fourth week on a 4 Wednesday month. So yeah, getting them we're getting on the Friday before we used to get them.
Okay.
That's fine by me.
I just wasn't sure if it was the following Friday, so they're later now.
No, we're getting them the day they used to do the previews.
Okay, all right. Probably because they were sick of them leaking, because the previews catalogue would be in retailers already, and all the pages would show up online. So we may as well just
screw it. Might as well
put the solicits out. So it's our news story they're reading this. It's our article they're looking at.
Might as well.
Not some other website. Anyway, so yeah, DC Comics. We talk about DC Comics every week, and. Yes, Matt's cracking his neck. I was doing that right before we started, actually.
Yeah, no, I slept on my shoulder wrong like 3 nights ago, and it's been like level 8 pain since, and this is the first time I've had some relief, but then I just kinked it again, so...
Yep.
Getting old's fun.
Yeah, no pain from last night. I did take like 2 hours to fall asleep, though. I was tossing and turning. I wasn't even that warm, like, 'cause when it starts to get to this time of year, like, some of the reasons why I might not fall asleep right away is because it's just warm. So I'm warm and sweaty, and it's not happening. But last night was just, I don't know, just random.
Yeah, that's right. You guys don't have air conditioners, right?
No, they don't exist.
Yeah,
No.
Oh, that sucks.
Not on a private.
I think we've talked about this before, but if you trace the history of air conditioning, you could see the explosion, like the population explosion of the American Southwest, because up until then, this flipping godforsaken
no one wanted
land.
to live there.
Yeah, because like you had a couple people, but other than that, they're like, nah, it's too hot. But then places like Phoenix, Arizona, Las Vegas, like desert parts of California, like no one wants to live there. So I don't know how you guys do it. Our friends that live in Seattle, they also don't have AC. So like. Yeah, it's weird. That's just weird to me.
Yeah, well, Connor burned himself this week, so that was fun.
I'm still dealing with it. Still dressed up at the minute.
Would you burn yourself on the sun?
No, not yet. Give me a week. A tray out of the oven.
Oh.
I was cooking, and something happened, and I dropped it, and it landed on my arm, and off came all the skin.
Ouch.
Yep.
Especially yours. Yours is like,
I was right on the the inside of your arm, where it's where everyone's arm is the palest as well, but mine is pure,
extra.
blinding white to look at.
Yours glows in the dark.
Yeah, exactly.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why you always got to wear oven mitts that go
I did.
up that far.
I was wearing normal, but they weren't that far up.
Well, maybe I just have short arms.
Oh dear. Yeah, so we were recording something a few days ago, and Connor was just like in pain, like through the whole review. It was delightful.
Yeah.
So we will start off with the solicits then, shall we? Which I've not even looked at yet, because this is the thing. We record the show on a Saturday, obviously. The solicits just came out last night. I have not had a chance to even peek at these. So this is going to be a nice journey of discovery. They've topped it with Batman Who Laughs #7. I guess they wanted to show off the final issue. Is it the final issue?
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Yep. 7's the final. And that leads right into the next one, which is Batman, Superman by Williamson and Marquez, which we've known about for a couple weeks now.
Yeah, and that's on a week 5, so this is a 5-week month, so we'll discover what else is on week 5 as we go here. Batman Superman issue 1 from Joshua Williamson, we talked about that in the news a couple of weeks back.
That looks like that's a week 2.
Oh, of course it is.
Yep.
Which is interesting that that's coming out before the last issue of Batman Who Laughs.
Well, no, because the Batman Who Laughs is solicited for the end.
Oh, is that the end of July?
Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
good point, Matt. They've solicited that in behind for July.
Right.
You're right. So
Retro solicit.
August.
Because I thought the same thing when I was looking at them last night.
Yeah. So August isn't a 5-week month. July's a 5-week
July.
month.
Yep.
Yes.
So
Okay.
nothing else should be there.
Yeah.
No.
Nothing else. Yes. Unless they've done a lot of retroactive solicits, which would be weird.
Which makes sense that they just slotted it in on the 5th week because it was only supposed to be 6, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they extended it. So.
Yeah. So.
And then another thing to ignore, which is another Neil Adams book.
Yes,
So-
Batman versus Ra's al Ghul issue 1 is out on the 21st of August.
I got super excited
No one else have a
thinking.
morbid curiosity.
Well, that was my thing. Is I got excited because I thought it was like a collection from the past. Like, oh, cool. They're reprinting old Denny O'Neil Ra's Batman stories, and then I saw written by Neil Adams. I went, oh no.
Oh, dear.
So, yeah.
That's a 6-issue miniseries, so those who dare. We have Batman 232 Facsimile Edition.
That's the reprint that.
That's the
Matt was on
reprint.
about. That's Raz's first issue.
there you
Which
go.
I'll be picking this up just to have finally. Like, I don't care if it's a facsimile.
Sure,
it all
why
reads
not?
the same. Yeah, it all reads
Yeah.
the same. Like, but yeah, those are the big ones that stand out of those. And then we get in August the Year of the Villain specials. We got one.
Matt,
Oh, that's jumping ahead.
yeah, Matt's jumping ahead. What are
Yeah.
you doing?
We don't need to go through every single book. Like
we
at number
have been for the
2.
last like 3 times.
Yeah, Matt, come on.
No.
Come on.
And you've jumped past like an issue 1 as well.
Matt's trying
We
to...
don't cover. We
I think
don't cover Wildstorm.
I know, but I think it's worth mentioning that they're relaunching Wildcats
Yeah.
with Warren Ellis. That feels like something worth mentioning.
Eh.
Matt, let me steal the shit, Matt. You just
No.
you just
I want to get through this.
you just we've got
I'm the
5
captain
books,
now.
Matt. We got 5 books. Calm yourself.
I'm the captain now.
Oh, look at Gary Green over here.
Oh, Gary Green is all the man we need.
I don't
So
get that.
watch Legend of Tomorrow, you filthy heathen, and you will.
Nope. I'm okay.
So yeah, so Wildcats is ongoing for Warren Ellis. That's the thing that's happening. Second issue, Across to the White Knight, which Matt also skipped over. But you're right, we do have Year of the Villain one-shots. We got 2 of them in August. The first one is Black Mask, and that is written by Tom Taylor with art by Cully Hamner. Hamner, sorry, yes.
I know he gets really annoyed at people saying Hammer, so
Yeah.
Look, you glance at it, you see Hammer. I wish
I
my
know,
last name was Hammer.
he always complains when he goes to conventions and the signs just say Hammer.
You wish your last name was Hammer. I literally worship at the altar of Thor. You imagine how much worse it would be if my last name was Hammer?
Matt Hammer.
Yeah, that's the name of a PI.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, so worth mentioning, this is a $5 40-page one shot. That's Black Mask book, but I mean, it's Tom Taylor, so obviously we're in.
Yeah,
I mean,
even if it is on week 2.
And it's
Oh, dear.
And it revolves around. I think I read that Batwoman's involved in this one.
yep.
Yeah.
I
Says,
read that on another site, so that's cool. I like seeing Tom Taylor
sorry.
write different characters.
Apparently, he's been in the Teen Titans secret prison for
Sure.
months. The Teen Titans have a secret prison?
Yeah, we covered that on the first issue of the guy
Yeah.
that took over.
Oh, I never read that. That's fine.
Yeah, no, Damien had a secret prison and
We-
locked away
we read
for their
enough.
blood.
We read enough to know that much.
Yeah,
That's about it. And then the other one, which is a week before then, the first week of August, is Sinestro, and that is Mark Russell writing with Brandon Peterson on the art. So
yeah. That Mark Russell, I'm curious to see what he does because most of his stuff's been a little bit satirical, like Flintstones, Wonder Twins. So to see him take on Sinestro,
I will say, like, I don't know how enthusiastic I'd be about these villain one shots, but at least with these first two, they're like, oh, that's some interesting creative teams.
No, I'm with you. If it was just, oh, here's some one shots,
Yeah,
and we're selling them just because it's Year of the Villain, I'd be like, eh.
like if it was Sinestro Year of the Villain, Cullen Bunn writing, I'd be like, nah, I'm good.
not hard skip.
I'm good.
Yeah.
Like,
But no, Tom Taylor. That's and it's got the Tom Taylor one with Black Mask has a Mitch Gerrard's cover too. So like,
That is a
That-
nice cover.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to buy that physically.
Yeah.
So, but the Mark Russell one, maybe not with Sinestro. We'll see. I do enjoy Black Mask too. Like he's feel like an underutilized Bat villain.
Yeah.
I could see him against like Green Arrow and like
So-
other street level.
Here's a question: are we going to be getting like a couple of these a month, like for a year?
Probably.
Is that the
I don't
plan
see why
here?
not.
I'm
Well,
okay
so-
with that. I think keep up the quality of the teams.
I mean, I suppose it's better than them dumping like 50 of them in 1 month, like they have done in the past.
You mean
Yeah.
like that villains month?
Yeah, so yes, the villains month.
I have far too many of those books.
I read a lot of them. Some of them were pretty good, but there was a lot of shit as well.
Yeah,
More shit than good.
To be expected when there's 50 of the damn things.
yes, 52 to be specific.
Which was 13 a week.
That's right. 13 a week. Yep. So we have a couple of graphic novels. Black Canary Ignite, which is either the Zumali Inc. book, whatever one that is. I can never remember which one's Azuma and which one's
Yeah, I
Inc.
can't
Yeah.
tell which is which.
It's the older kid one.
It's the older
whatever
kid
that
one.
is.
Right. And then we have Super Sons Book 2, The Foxglove Mission by Ridley Pearson and Eli Gonzalez.
No.
Meg Cabot and Carrie McGee were on the Black Canary one. So a couple of graphic novels. Then we have
I was gonna ask, has that Raven one come out with the one art? I always forget his name.
So I know the Mirror one's out.
the Catwoman's
Yeah.
just coming out this week, right? Or last
Yeah.
week?
It just came
Yeah,
out.
I think it just came out.
Yeah.
So that, what's his name? He
Piccolo.
does the Piccolo. That's right.
Yeah.
Thank you. I always forget.
Yeah.
I love his art though.
Yeah. And then Matt's favourite book of the year, Superman Year 1, Issue 2.
I think it's hilarious that they still think it's coming out on time.
There was a lot. No, to be fair, they've given advanced reviews to a lot of publications this past week.
Have they?
So yeah, a lot of them were talking about it this week.
So Issue 1's definitely done then.
Issue one is done. Yeah. So I think at least it's starting on time.
Yeah.
Can we look at that? I think it's the Miller cover. It's Liefeld-esque and bad.
Yeah, but is it... Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Still not worse than that one where you had the beer belly from the last issue.
No.
But
No,
yes, terrible.
There is a morbid curiosity though.
Can I just point out again that this is an $8 book?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the 80 page though, or whatever it is, 64 pages. It's the double
64.
length. It's the
Yeah,
every 2 months.
Yeah, but most of the other double books weren't $8. They were... I mean, I guess that was when the other books were $2.99, so I guess that makes sense. But still.
I think they were, weren't they? Was they not?
No, like the Dead Man one and Supergirl, I'm pretty sure they were like $5.99.
Oh, fair enough. But I mean, I guess like you say, the everything's $3.99 now. So
Yeah, double means $8. Yeah, it makes
because
sense.
it is 2 issues worth of content. It's
Still,
I'm
I'm looking at it and I'm going.
you don't want to read it at that price.
I would pay $8 not to read that.
That's fair.
I was gonna ignore it. Like I was
Yeah.
gonna keep. So
We have another facsimile edition, House of Secrets 92. Who's that? The first
Swamp Thing.
That's Swamp Thing's
That's Swamp
first
Thing.
appearance. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Mhm.
We have Titans Burning Rage issue 1. This is another one of these from the Walmart specials being reprinted in comic book, monthly form. Dan Jurgens. So that's $4.99
I'm into
like the other
this
ones
one.
were.
Looks like a classic team.
Who have we
Yeah.
got there? No, yeah.
Robin, Starfire, Raven, Beast Boy.
I assume that's Dick. So given the rest of the team.
Well, yeah. You look at
Yeah.
the suit. It's very
Yeah.
so.
Cyborg notably absent though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Oh.
maybe that's part of the story.
Yeah, maybe.
but it also involves Hawk and Dove. So enjoy that.
Yeah, but it is Dan Jurgens, so
No,
it
I
might
know,
not be
but still.
terrible.
Yeah, I'm willing to try this when it comes out for the show. I'll try Burning Rage.
Yeah.
It was a title in Burning Rage. Matt should be all over it. Let's be honest here.
All right.
So from here, the books are in alphabetical order because basically everything we've just talked about is what they've chosen to spotlight. So yeah, I'll just kind of list things off and stop where things are interesting. Action Comics 1014, Aquaman 51. Robson Rocket is on the book with Daniel Henriquez, that issue, which I'm noting because this week's issue was a different artist than normal, even though I do like Bogdanovic.
Bogdanovic.
Yeah. And I'm just going to mention as we get to this one, a lot of the variants this month are card stock variants for an extra $1.
Oh, right, okay.
but I'm seeing that Milton one there, and I'm like, oh, card stop Milton variant. I might have to get that.
Yeah.
It's definitely
Same goes for the Batgirl one, for the record.
Yeah, the Batgirl one looks like a poster.
I'm looking. Oh, let's look at the Batgirl
They're
one.
both kind of incredible.
Yeah, I mean, his Batgirl covers have been absolutely next
Spectacular,
level. I mean, hell, I've got a Middleton Batgirl cover on my phone still, and it's still
Yeah.
there. Like, it's not moved.
Mine is a Bartel Cowboy Bebop.
Nerd. So Batman Beyond's still going. Apparently.
Yeah, how?
Oh,
Well,
is
no.
it, that's just
Well,
well enough.
you yelled at me for skipping stuff, but you're skipping that Cecile Castellucci is official, the new series writer on
I spoke
Batgirl.
about that already, though.
Yeah, that was official last issue.
Was it?
Yeah, they
Yeah.
confirmed it afterwards, just
On
not
Twitter.
in the solicit.
Yeah, okay. Well, this is the first that I saw it was official.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
yeah.
That's just not paying attention.
He's trying to get us back for pulling him up for skipping shit.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah.
not working.
Exactly. I believe in vengeance.
Yes. Then we get two Batman issues, 76 and 77, deep into the City of Bane arc. That first variant on the first Batman issue is particularly
Oh, the Delotto one.
pretty, yes.
It's a cardstock one as well.
Yeah, that's quite nice. That's quite nifty.
Yeah.
That's quite nifty. Who's this Robin on this?
I
Was it-
don't know. That was
that's-
going to be my question.
That's Flashpoint Batman and a Robin with him.
Then that's Gotham Girl.
It's Gotham Girl.
It's
Yeah,
Gotham
look at
Girl.
the style of it.
Ah, yeah.
Hair's
Yeah,
growing
so
back.
Suddenly I'm unenthusiastic again.
I love it. I love it.
But you know what, though? It's like...
I thought we finished with Gotham Girl shit.
No, but here's the thing. That's why it was what's that thing? I'm having a brain fart. Hell of a
What
day.
you're looking for is it was bullshit.
Well, that yes, but the gun. Check off. There we go.
Check off.
Check off Gotham Girl. So
Check off
Brought her
Gotham
back.
Girl.
Yeah. brought her back for the Flash crossover because she was going to show up in City of Bane.
There you go. See, it's perfect.
Yeah.
And anything that upsets Connor but doesn't upset me is absolutely aces in my book.
Yeah, I bet it is.
Batman now says issue 4, so that's not been cancelled yet. That's good news. We got Batman Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3 issue 4, Books of Magic 11, Catwoman 14, notably not
I
written.
see it. Yeah, Ram V's on that one again.
Yeah. Which just kind of
So glad I
solidifies
kept that.
my choice for, jumping away. Collapser 2, I'm assuming that's a Vertigo book.
No, it's the Young Animal
Oh,
one from Michael Bay.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, make way I see it.
Yeah.
Deceased issue 4 is out. Well, speaking of covers, what's this Joker one with the face ripped off? Oh my.
Is that the Matina one?
It looks like a Matina, yep. Deathstroke 46, Dial H for Hero 6, that is the final issue of the miniseries. So that's out in August. Detective Comics 1009 and 1010.
Yeah, new arc with Deadshot.
Yeah, Kristen Duss on the art for these issues. So, see how that goes. Doom Patrol Weight of the Worlds issue 2, that's obviously the next issue in the Gerard Way comic. Dreaming issue 12, so the Sandman stuff's still going. We got Eventless Leviathan issue 3, that's the Bendis event, issue 3 of 6. I'm just glancing at the cover here. That's a pretty cover. I mean, it pales compared to some of the variants we've been looking at, but it's
Yeah,
pretty.
but it's a solid cover.
It's a solid cover. Solid. Freedom Fighters issue 8. Out of 12, Flash 76 and 77, of course, coming out.
New arc after year 1. Death of the Speed Force.
Death of the Speed Force. We'll see how that goes. And will it stick? The Green Lantern issue 10. Grant Morrison's Reign of Terror on the Green Lantern line continues.
Oh, but
Yep.
look at that variant. Come on.
Yeah.
It's a nice variant. I'll
Pretty
give
great
you it.
variant.
I'll give you it. But I'm just saying, it would just be nice to have an alternate Green Lantern book to enjoy.
Hey, I'm with you. I'm happy. I would be down for having this and something else. I don't need just. I like this. Don't get me wrong, but hey, give me another one as well.
I might have to read this one now because of the multiple lanterns. I'm a sucker for that stuff.
12 parallel worlds, 12 Green Lanterns, one unstoppable menace. Hal
Where-
joins the Green Lanterns of the multiverse.
where's-
Okay, I'm so into this.
Where's my Tom Taylor Jessica Cruz book? Give me
I don't know.
Give me a DC. Harley Quinn will never die, so that's out 64.
It makes me sad that Schmidt is on that book instead of something that we read.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hawkman
It's a nice
15's
variant,
out.
though.
Yeah. Shadow Thief returns.
Mhm.
So that should be fun. Tying into You're the Villain.
Yeah, House
Yeah.
of Whispers 12, Justice League's 29 and 30. Justice Do
That-
More starts in issue 30.
Yeah. And
I'm
that,
just-
that
sorry, the one
Dotson's
thought-
cover.
Does a Starro dream of an electric Justice League?
That's good. That's good. That's
Yeah.
good. Justice Doom More is an interesting title. Definitely does not make me think we're cooling down and having some quiet time between big arcs.
Not
So
at all.
29 could be a quiet one. The Starro issue.
Oh, one quiet issue. Oh, they're so kind
Well,
to me.
yeah, you got a little breather.
Uh-huh. Justice League Dark issue 14's there, of course.
Yep.
Cover by Gilliam March. That'll be a cover of choice, obviously.
The variant's nice though.
Yeah, that Man-Bat variant is pretty nice, actually.
Like, you don't want Gilliam March? Oh, it's not. I thought it was an extra cardstock one. Here,
Yeah.
pay. The extra.
I would have paid the extra $1 to not have Gilliam March.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know. That's what I thought they were doing.
Yeah. Justice League Odyssey issue 12, and shockingly, it's still not the final issue, which I was really expecting.
Yeah, me too.
And it seems like this is where they were heading. That now they're the heralds of the new gods. So,
Yeah, it's a shame we don't care anymore, isn't it?
No,
I wish I did. I wish that book held me.
Yeah, no, that was genuine when I said that. It really is a shame.
We got Lois Lane issue 2 by Rucka. That's right. That book still.
that cover.
Still coming.
Yeah, 2 of 12. Lucifer 11. Martian Manhunter issue 8 by Orlando. I feel bad because Martian Manhunter and Freedom Fighters kind of get left behind by me just because they came out in busy weeks, and I did kind of want to keep reading them. Maybe I'll catch up at some
Yeah,
point.
Freedom Fighters definitely. Martian Manhunter. I'll probably wait till it's done.
Yeah, I can't really argue. Nightwing issue 63 is out. Still Rick Grayson.
Yep.
That's all we have to know. Pearl issue 12, Bendis' book. Had the final
Yep.
issue of that as it happens as well. Red Hood Outlaw issue 37. Scott Lobdell's record-breaking run on Red Hood continues.
In what way is it record? What records exactly is it breaking?
It has to be getting close to a record now. He's been on that book, but counting the New 52 run, he's been on that book for a long ass time now.
That's true.
He's been on that book for 8 years.
God damn it, he has, hasn't he?
Yeah,
Mhm.
8 continuous years.
He stopped when he wrote something, and then Tynan took over for a short time, and then they got rid of the book until.
Yeah, it wasn't continuous.
Rebirth.
There was at least a good
No.
year without it, I think.
There was a
Yeah.
year off. Okay, still okay. 7 out of 8, still pretty.
Because he went and wrote that Doomsday book.
Oh, yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Mm.
They tried to, reboot Doomsday as not Doomsday.
Oh, it was terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Scooby-Doo, where are you? Issue 100. Oh, it's a big one.
Yeah, they're going to Yosemite.
Do you know what I like about this book as well?
What?
It's still $2.99
Is
because obviously it's appealing to the kids. And it's like, hey, look,
Yeah.
we get it. Here's a cheaper one for you.
Yeah. Parents buy your kids your book. That's fine. Shazam issue 9 is scheduled for August.
Remember we were talking about the Wazenderland, and we're like, what the hell is this?
Mm-hmm.
Reading this made me realize it's a combination of Oz and Wonderland.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, okay, I'm there.
Over the rainbow and through the looking glass into the upside down topsy turvy world of the Wonderlands.
So it's
Was
going to
on-
it's
that's
going to
a word- hard
be
word to
a
say.
yellow.
No, Blue Brick Road.
No,
It's a
the
Blue
Blue
Brick
Brick
Road. Damn it!
Yeah.
I thought it would be I thought it would be like a yellow donut road or something like that.
No. So definitely means like Shazam's gonna start crossing over some
okay.
letters.
I
literary
love the
characters.
regular cover of that.
Yep. It's pretty
That
good.
is
huh?
amazing.
They're both pretty good, honestly. The one he's eating the apples actually still
Oh
pretty
yeah,
nice.
yeah. The other one's really nice as well.
Yeah.
It's Carrie Andrews, so solid. But the style and what the other one is evoking is just
Yep.
next level.
You see the white rabbit with the axe?
Yeah.
Sold.
He's got a very mischievous look in his face as well, actually, now you
Uh-huh.
bring it up. Supergirl 33 is out. And
Yep.
again, I'm just looking at that variant. It's not as good as some of the recent ones.
It's pretty
No.
nice though.
Yeah. Not bad, not bad. And then we have Superman 14, of course, which is coming out. We have Superman's pal, Jimmy Olsen, issue 2, the Matt for Action book. Teen Titans 33, that's still going strong, apparently. We got Wonder Woman 76 and 77. We got Jesus Marino in the art for both of those. So you go.
Yeah. One of them's Cheetah, and the other one we're dealing with more gods. We're getting Hephaestus.
Yeah, there's a Cheetah variant on that second one.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
It's totally different to the usual Frozen covers, though, isn't it?
Yep.
Yes. Terrifics issue 19. It doesn't say final issue, Matt. We're still going.
No. And now I gotta get caught up still. Because I still haven't read the one that I missed.
Oh, you need to, Matt. You need to.
Yeah. I will. I'll get to it. It's Yang. I like Yang.
Yeah, no, it was good. Young Justice issue 8 is, of course, out. We got Batman Universe issue 2, Superman Up in the Sky issue 2, Wonder Woman Come Back to Me issue 2. Those are all the Walmart reprints for the month. So there you go. And that's
I have a question on these Walmart reprints.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So they've got the same page count as the regular books, but they're all $4.99. Is this no ads? Maybe because they
maybe
got...
I think we probably questioned this when we first got the solicits for them. I don't know. I assume it's no ads. It has to be. Otherwise,
I would hope so. Otherwise, I'm feeling a bit ripped off by this.
I mean, is the argument that the 100-page things, because they were like $10, right?
Yeah. They were up there, and they were a combination of multiple.
Obviously, they had a lot of reprints in them, but
yeah, and they're putting them together. So these are 2 of those issues, the main story. Put together.
Maybe that's how they justify it. Well, technically, you had to pay $20 to get the content here before with all the reprint stuff.
That's bullshit.
I agree, it's bullshit, but I'm
just no ads.
Yeah. And well, maybe that's the thing. Maybe the page count of those things was like a little bit over 10, so that the total combined was like 28 pages instead of the usual 20.
Yeah,
and that's why. Maybe that's why it is. I don't know. I'm just guessing. We'll find out when they launch. There's usually collected editions. I don't know if there's anything in here that you guys want to point out.
Elegy, the Greg Williams, J.H. Williams Batwoman.
Mm-hmm.
It's being reprinted finally, so I am excited because I've been wanting to reread that for a long time.
I don't want to put a damper on this, but
Batwoman by Rucker is the superior version.
Yes, this is actually missing issues. This is missing issues like the first version.
Well, this is only 6. This is 854 to 860.
Yeah, 7 issues. So there's a bigger version called Batwoman by Rucker. That's got more issues in it. Yep.
Yeah.
Damn it.
It is reprinting some early Booster Gold stuff though.
Mm-hmm. Where's that at? There it is.
So
Dan Jurgens.
Yeah.
So I mean, something big must be coming for Booster, right?
you hope. Well, that's a hardcover as well. That Booster Gold book.
Yeah, it's a 12-issue hardcover. That's
interesting. So yeah. So if you're interested in reading the Rucker Batwoman, I actually recommend avoiding this new trade and getting the bigger one. Get Batwoman by Greg Rucker is the one you want. And then you got a new deluxe version of Crisis. Sort of. I wonder why that's getting reprinted in the fall.
When's that actually coming out? Because obviously these are a couple of months ahead usually.
September 25th. This is coming out.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Right as the new seasons are kind of about to start for the new shows. Yeah.
Final Crisis Omnibus is getting reprinted. Very good. Jeff Johns Green Lantern book 2. I'm happy to see that. Silver Age book 4 as well. Happy to see that. All good things.
Yeah, there's not a lot of huge surprises in this section, but I mean, there's a lot of solid things just kind of ticking along.
Just League of America, The Wedding of the Atom and Gene Loring hardcover by Englehart and Conway. That's a meaty hardcover.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Very nice.
400 plus pages.
There's a Stargirl by Jeff Johns book, which is just collecting the Stars and Stripe series, 0 to 14, and then the one issue that related to her of JSA All Stars. Yeah. And it's got the actress from the show on the cover.
Yeah. Well, you can tell what they're aiming for here, can't you?
Yeah. So fair enough. And Joe, I am liking the reprint omnibuses every once in a while because they're doing Superman Golden Age book 1 again as a reprint, and well, I'm not interested in buying the Golden Age stuff. I'm actually really glad
to keep them accessible for people.
Because I hate books going out of print. I hate it. It's the bane of my existence.
They are doing a Wonder Woman by Gail Simone omnibus.
Yeah. Here's hoping
that there's a Watchmen trade paperback new edition.
Of course there is. There's one of those every 3 months.
Yeah.
No, right?
But no, there you go. That's solicits. So that was nice and thorough. I didn't take too long, Matt.
Nope.
He sounds so happy. All right. Well, because it's a quieter week, because we have less actual books to talk about, we do have some questions from the Twitters, and I think first and foremost we'll start with the one that kind of get asked multiple times, where someone, hold on, let me just get the correct names here. So, from at the Karate GM, if you were writing a Justice League book, what would the tone of the book be and who would be on the team? And then at Scott Revels gave us a really in-depth version of building a Justice League team. And then talking Superman, the scandalous menace that he is, asked another question, but then said, but the real question is, who would be on your Justice League team?
Did we not do this before?
We did a draft.
We always do this.
Yeah, we did a draft. This one's a little bit different. Scott Revels has actually given us rules.
It's basically create your D&D team.
Yeah, so
and he
basically
gives you these are the ones to go with.
So there's two parts to this. One is that we have slots that we have to fill. So we have Powerhouse, Powerless Human, Female Badass, Comedic Hero, Heart of the Team, Wild Card. And then give examples for each. So Powerhouse Superman, Batman's the Powerless Human, Wonder Woman's Female Badass, Comedic Hero's the Flash, Heart of the Team, Martian Manhunter, Wild Card, Hot Girl. All right, that was the examples given.
And his definition of wild card is someone you wouldn't expect to be on the team.
Sure.
Yep.
Kate Man. Now.
No.
Hell yeah. So, and then the other thing is, let me just read the rules here. Right, so create your own 7-person Justice League, except the 2 other hosts can block you from picking 2 heroes. A total of 4 blocks per host. So we each get to block 2 for someone else.
This sounds convoluted when everyone else just wants to hear our Justice League.
No, but I like this because it makes it interesting.
I know, I like the rest of the rules. Okay, we'll fill the categories, but... Oh,
and the one, because I only gave 6 examples here. The other slot is a Green Lantern, which doesn't need explaining. That one's obvious.
No. So we could just go through each of those categories and pick one person each.
But then...
Matt
then how do the blocks work?
Yeah, Matt wants the veto powers. He wants to spice it up.
I like it.
That ruins the whole thing for me because it's no fun.
No, it doesn't.
Because it's like, well, this isn't my team anymore.
Well, yes, it is. It makes you. So imagine you're given a Justice League book, but editorial's like, all right, I like this team, but you can't use these 2 characters. Who are you gonna sub in there?
All right, I will use my first block to block Matt from using Superman.
On any of them? That's bullshit, because he can fit into 3 of those things.
Yeah, you block the character.
Says you can't use Superman. He's not available right now, man.
Fine, Supergirl. Boom, done. All right, I'm going to use one of my blocks to Pete. He can't use Jessica Cruz.
We're just doing blocks right now. Right, we're not picking things. Right. Let's just pick what Matt's getting blocked from. I'm blocking Superman, and I'm going to also block Guy Gardner. Connor, who are you blocking for, Matt?
I am abstaining from blocking, so just
no,
those
you
2.
can't.
No, Connor, don't spoil the fun.
Yeah. Pick 2 people. Pick 2 more.
Oh. No, don't do that to him. That's how you create tyrants.
Matt, you're going to pick 2 more for him.
No, because that's not fun. Because that's just me and Pete kicking each other in the nuts. Like,
and then me and Matt
kick you in the nuts.
Yeah, and then we get to pick stuff for you.
I get to do that. I just can't be bothered to think of people.
Go on, block 2 characters, Connor. Stop with a spoil spot.
No, just pick 2 more. I don't care.
Oh.
All right, Connor's not playing that apparently. All right, Matt, who you blocking?
I don't care blocking.
Who are you blocking for me?
I'm blocking Batgirl and
which Batgirl? Hold on.
Jessica Cruz.
Which Batgirl?
Clearly, Batgirl as a mantle.
No, it's Babs. And I'm not counting. We're not counting Steph as Batgirl. She's spoiler. So,
whoa! Yeah. We're rewriting rules of reality here.
No,
now she is spoiler.
So if that's the case, if you're blocking Superman, I'd be like, oh, okay, well, you blocked future, future.
When I say Superman, you damn sure know well I mean proper regular Clark Kent Superman. Don't you start? But you start. All right. So, Babs and Jessica Cruz.
Oh god, he's actually having to write it down.
And I've blocked Superman and Guy for you. Okay. All right. Well, since Connor's forfeited his blocks, it's tough titty. We get to block 4 for him. So, Matt, who would you like to block from Connor using?
He can't have Zatanna.
Okay.
All right, no Zatanna. I will block.
I gotta write these down now. No. For myself.
Yeah. I will block Connor from using Wally West.
I was expecting Connor to go, all right, I'm not playing anymore. I'm going home.
I am home.
Matt, what's your next block?
For Connor,
Yep.
Zatanna, and you did Wally.
Mm-hmm.
Where else is his? He likes Guy like I do, so I don't want to do that to him.
That's fine. I'll pick Guy's my second.
Yeah. Wow.
No Guy Gardner's in any of these Justice Leagues, damn it.
Pete hates gingers. No Wally, no
That's
Guy.
not news.
I'd block him from Jason Todd, but let's be honest, he's not going to pick Jason Todd anyway. So.
No. Go away, kitty.
Shazam.
Shazam.
Shazam. All right. Interesting. Okay. Now I'm assuming we can overlap here. This is not a draft. This is just we have these blockages, and all on that we can do what we like here. So we'll just take it by category then. Powerhouse, Matt.
So my powerhouse is going to be Supergirl because we need usually Kryptonians right there. So I want her there.
All right. Supergirl. Connor, Powerhouse.
I'll take Martian Manhunter.
Martian Manhunter. I'll take Superman.
Yeah, of course you will.
Of course, he should be the Powerhouse. All right, Matt. Powerless Human.
Who in the Bat family can I take?
Most of them.
No, I know, but who do I like more out of all of them? If I say Dick Grayson, this is none of this Rick Grayson BS, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna give classic Nightwing there.
Yeah, okay. Nightwing. All right, Connor.
Blue Beetle, Ted Cord.
That's an interesting one.
Because that locks in another one for later, so we've got a nice easy duo.
I wonder who he's picking for one of the other slots.
Can you tell I'm tired?
Yeah, maybe a little bit. My powerless human shall also be Dick Grayson, because, obviously. All right. Female badass, Matt.
So this one's tough because I was gonna throw in a character there, and I decided I wanted to use it for one of the other categories. So I can either go Wonder Woman or Katana. So I think I'm gonna go Katana here. Swings a sword, pretty badass.
Katana. Connor.
Yeah, I'll go Wonder Woman. Also swings a sword. That's what it came
down to.
That seemed to be Matt's deciding factor there between the two. So I just wanted to point that out.
Yeah.
Oh dear. As easy it would be to pick a couple of certain ones. I think I'm going to be more interested here and go with Black Canary.
That was another idea.
Shake it up a lot, but I don't want two super characters. Make it a bit more interesting. All right, what's next? Comedic hero, Matt.
I'm going Starfire. She's always the best when she's used as that awkward wedge. And I could have used her for Powerhouse. I could have used her as badass, but I went with comedic.
Connor?
Well, I'm going booster gold, just so I've got blue and gold there, and it's easy.
Yeah.
I'm going with Robot Man, Cliff Steele.
Sure.
You can tell someone's been enjoying Doom Patrol. As he well should be.
He was in contention for a daytime Emmy.
I forgot about that.
What are you going for heart of the team?
So I just realized I created a theme with my Justice League team, so I had to change some things on the ones going down. Heart of the team's going to be Flash, but it's Wally West.
Okay, Wally. Connor?
This is where I will put Dick Grayson.
There you go. And then for heart of the team, I
just realized what I did, and it's on brand. So I had to fill out the rest of them.
You got Wally, Starfire, and Dick Grayson.
He's made a.
You guys guess who's coming up? I did, didn't I?
I am going to go with Stargirl for the heart. Might be an interesting team. All right, wild card. I don't know. We'll save that for last. We'll do Green Lantern first. Matt, pick a Green Lantern.
So I would. This is where Guy would go, and then I thought, who else? And I originally had Kilowog, but I was like, he can't get off of Oa. He's too busy being a drill instructor. So who do we have? Who's not doing anything? Kyle Rayner.
Wait, Matt's actually picking Kyle Rayner?
Yeah, picking Kyle Rayner. This is a Titan team, goddammit. So, but we're getting rid of, it's the Ion suit. We're getting rid of that stupid crab mask, all right?
Oh, okay, I can approve.
Entity. Yeah, he's, he's feeling that.
Just buy a birthday cake and smear shit all over it, why don't you? Connor, what's your Green Lantern?
I could. Yeah, I'll take Jessica Cruz. Why not? Pete can't, so I might as well.
Someone has to.
Yeah.
She's great.
Yeah, she is.
Little did Jeff Johns know that a character he would set up in Shadow as this massive threat would become a near and dear member of the DCU.
Yeah, she was the star of the latest movie.
Yeah.
So Matt almost tempted me to go with Kilowog because I like the idea of having a big Kilowagian sized dude on the team, but I'm going with Kyle, who will be in his crab mask, for the record, which leaves the wild card.
You guys ready for this? You guys ready? You guys thought I would go booster, right? Because originally that's what I did.
And then you've changed it to a more Titans-y character.
It's Beast Boy, isn't it?
It's Beast Boy!
Well, it was Beast Boy or Cyborg.
Or Raven. Could have been Raven.
Could have been
Raven, but no. So I'm going Beast Boy. He's the wild card.
All right. So, Connor, what's your wild card?
This one's tough. There's a few options on this one. More so than I feel like the others are. There are a lot. Because this is just kind of open.
Yeah,
right?
this one's open. This is an open slot.
Who have I got already? Have you been writing it down? I can't remember.
You got Martian Manhunter, Blue Beetle. You got Wonder Woman, Booster Gold, Dick Grayson, and Jessica Cruz.
You're missing a speedster.
Yeah, I'm not gonna have a speedster.
I know because you're gonna have Wally. Maybe you can have Jesse Quick.
I could, but I'm just not bothered about having a speedster.
Man.
Hey, I'm not doing this about balance and power. I'm doing this just to.
See, I got a Kryptonian. I got a Gothamite. I got a sword swinger. I got an alien that shoots, solar blasts. I got
Matt,
a speedster.
I just want to make it clear: our Justice Leagues are not fighting each other.
No, I know, but
they share members.
At the threat. I'm looking at the threat, and I'm covered. And then Beast Boy's there just cracking jokes, turning into bears and elephants.
Yeah, I'm gonna take Starfire on this one because I like
that's what
Starfire.
you should. No.
All right.
See, I was
Starfire.
also tempted to go Poison Ivy,
Of
right?
course you would.
Heroic version.
Oh, there you
but
go.
she's not a Titans member like Beast Boy is. They're both green. I mean, it's like,
Right, who have I got? I've got Superman, Dick Grayson, Black Canary, Robotman, Starfire, sorry, no, Stargirl rather, and Kyle Rayner.
Oh, he's so bad at recognizing Starfire. He thinks other people are her.
yeah.
So my wild card. Cassandra Cain.
There it is, the other Batgirl. I knew that's where it was coming. She's good. I was tempted to put her on the badass too, but I went with Katana because she has a sword, and the
Yeah.
sword talks to her.
So what have I got power levels here? I've got Superman, who's just everything. Dick's not got powers, obviously. Black Canary's got a scream. Robotman's a robot, so he can take a beating, but he's not necessarily super special in terms of abilities.
Yep.
Stargirl's got her staff and whatnot. Kills a Green Lantern, and then Cassie's another powerless hero. So yeah, I'd say it's a bit mid-level overall, with a couple of heavy hitters sort of pulling them up.
Are you gonna go through all the teams like that?
Well, let's look at Mass there. We got Supergirl, Nightwing,
Yeah.
Katana, Starfire, Wally, Beast Boy, and Kale. Yeah, you've got a Kryptonian, you've got Starfire,
Yeah.
you've got a Speedster, and you've got a Green Lantern. I mean, you've got a lot of heavy hitters there, I think, in terms
Yes,
of
I
power
do.
levels.
And again, we look at our personalities. I like to think I'm the type, if we play D&D, I'm the tank guy
Oh yeah,
that
always,
runs in, axe. I don't think. I ain't got time for backup.
every time.
You know, whereas Pete's like, and I'm gonna be rangy. I think he could be a wizard. He could be a ranger. You know, I don't know. And then Connor's definitely the magic user. He's a
So
guy.
you make me want to reread the first arc of Die because Matt is the fool
Uh,
from
What?
Die.
I don't
He's
appreciate
read it.
this.
He gets it. The fool in Die's
Yeah.
character
Here
classes.
we go.
The fool is the guy who runs in, and
Yep.
as long as he's not thinking about what he's doing and he's just doing
Yeah.
whatever the hell comes to mind,
Right.
he's perfectly safe. He'll never get touched.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
Matt
good.
Matt is like a successful Leroy Jenkins, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that meme changed my life. I still look and laugh, and I still, when it's time to go to work and we don't have a plan, I will yell Leroy Jenkins. like, like we were cleaning up after the award ceremony yesterday morning, and I was like, I don't know where we're going, Leroy Jenkins. So,
Carl's get
I
Martian.
like my team.
Yeah, Carl's get Martian Manhunter, Blue Beetle, Wonder Woman, Booster Gold, Dick Grayson, Jessica Cruz, and Ivy. Again, three heavy hitters. I feel like we all have like 3 heavy hitters, give or take. Matt's maybe got a little bit more, but interesting teams. Feel free to tell us which team you think is the best team in the comments.
I was robbed. Had I been able to have Superman and Guy, I would have been even more heavy hitter.
Oh god,
Think
yeah.
about that.
You could have had Guy. You just self-imposed
No.
this restriction because he wasn't a Titan.
No, I couldn't.
No, I
Pete
blocked Guy.
Oh, did you block Guy? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I blocked Guy from both of you to make sure Guy wasn't anywhere on these lists.
Yeah.
Wow, that's an extra level of petty hatred, isn't it?
It is. What were some other quicker questions? That took up a bit.
Yeah, we got other questions. We could fly through some other ones. Where are we? All right, here's an interesting one. From Let's Talk Cold. I think the full. Let me get the full handle.
Mm-hmm.
Let's
I got
Let's
one
Talk
from him
Cold.
too that we can do at the end.
Yeah,
It's
and
me specific.
in terms of threat level, what is your DC villain power ranking?
We need to do top 5.
Yeah, I mean top 3, top 5, something like that. I don't know. Just
Pick one.
all
We need
right.
to know who I'm leaving off.
Well, Darkseid has to be like.
Well, Darkseid's off the table.
He's off the table.
Because he's
He's
off
a
the table.
separate category, is what Matt
Okay.
said.
yeah.
What
Alright.
about
He's like an act of nature.
and anti-monitor's got to be pretty high.
Yeah, like those cosmic level.
So we're not counting
Threats.
cosmic level. We're just doing like Earth, like well, not maybe Earth based, but
Oh, okay. I was still thinking, right, anti-monitor's got to be top 2 or 3.
yeah, because I'd have said Antimatter, Darkseid, we're up.
In that order.
Yeah, probably in that order. Yeah.
Although I could definitely see Darkseid trying to give the Antimatter the Omega Sanction.
I mean, he can try.
Yeah. So
Well, actually, no. The other 2 and 3. Number 1 is Dan Didio.
Wow, duh. So, well, 1A, 1B, Didio, Lobdell. So
That's fair. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Lex is really high up for the Earth-based villains.
Lex,
Power
Lex.
levels?
Not in power levels, but
Well,
not
that's the
well,
question, isn't it?
not in superpower
No,
levels. It
it's
says power ranking.
yeah.
Power
Power
ranking.
ranking.
Yeah. So that's
The power ranking is just like
Yeah, it doesn't
so
necessarily
like
mean
in sports.
superpowers. That could mean
Yeah, it's
no, but I thought I figured power ranking meant as in like, okay, how strong are they? Like
no.
no.
I think they mean like when you read power rankings of like football teams, right? Not necessarily the team with like the highest record is the top. It's who has the most impact, you know? So
can you tell
that's how I
don't
read
read
these.
power rankings of football teams?
Or
I've
hockey
never
for
heard
that matter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, Lex, like, Lex, I don't know if he'd make top 5 necessarily, because once we start bringing in Darkseid, the Anti-Monitor, I don't know if Lex necessarily
that's
merges
why
up to them.
The force of nature guys, like even Doomsday, I put off the table when I thought about this question.
Okay, sure.
You know, and
You're
so,
thinking villains who regularly interact with the heroes who...
yes.
Okay,
Yep.
so if in that case, you're probably looking at something like Lex and Sinestro,
Okay.
We doing 3 or 5?
Joker's an interesting one because we can do 5 just to make it more interesting beyond the obvious ones. But Joker's a weird one. Like he's probably the most dangerous. I don't know if he's necessarily got the most power. If that makes bizarre sense.
I always look like he's not going to go into Metropolis and try to mess things up, whereas Lex will definitely try to go to Gotham and mess things up.
30 seconds ago, Matt was like, it's about how much impact they have on the characters.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but
That's the criteria.
But again,
the goddamn
it's
top.
subjective, though. So, like to me, Joker's 5, right? Just because I don't find him that much interesting as I do the ones above him.
oh, I think he's very interesting. I just like when I think of power rankings with the villains, I think of like a hierarchy almost, and I think Joker's almost outside of it because he doesn't care about how much power he has. He just is what he is. I don't know, like. Whereas Lex and Sinestro and characters like that, they're kind of trying to gain things. They're trying to conquer or gain wealth or whatever.
My 1, 2, and 3 were Lex, Thawne, and Ra's al Ghul.
Oh, Thawne's a good one. Thawne, yeah.
Like Thawne, yeah, like that dude wouldn't change time just to prove like he is the big villain and everything. And then I'd probably have Joker in 4, and then 5. I don't know, maybe Captain Cold, just because what he represents to Central City
Condiment
and
King.
the Flash in general. Huh?
Condiment King.
This makes the criteria for this question seems to be changing within Matt's.
I mean, no, it's different from doing favourites, because if I was doing favourites, I'd probably put Joker at number 1. Although that said, I'm a little bit sick of all the Joker stuff they're doing recently. But...
Oh, no, I'm not even saying it is favourites,
Yeah.
but if it was impact, Cold shouldn't be that high.
Yeah, but it's for me he is because of again what he represents to Central City. He's this blue collar. I just want to rob people, right? But sometimes that goes sideways, Like I feel that's an impact on the Flash because how does Flash treat Cold?
Is there an impact? I don't know if I don't know if my definition of power rankings here agrees that Captain Cold should be in the top 5.
I think the problem is we all have different different interpretations of what power ranking means, and it's really leading to a bit of a kerfuffle here.
I mean,
trying to power rank wrestlers, you really can't do it.
Yeah, if you look at this purely from like a value perspective, like who's the most valuable to DC, then Joker is actually number 1 in terms of power ranking.
And then Lex right there behind him.
Yeah, and Lex,
main, So.
Yeah, and then you'd probably put Darkseid. He's probably the most well known after that. Like, because Anti-Monitor, well, we think he's one of the most deadly and devastating, in comicdom. He's not known.
Entire universes.
Yeah,
but he's not like general knowledge knows who he
Zod's
is.
probably up there based on that. If it's perception and value, Zod is probably up there.
Oh, yeah. I feel like Zod. He might not quite go above Darkseid now, but he would be in the most known top 5 for sure.
Yeah. All right, I'll sub out Cold for Sinestro just to make Connor happy.
It's really difficult to say who's like known now. I feel like the TV shows have mucked up, because I feel like a lot of people watch The Flash. They know who Thawne is now. Like maybe Thawne is more well known than I give him credit for.
But you've got but more people watch the movies and know who Bane is.
True. I mean, let's be honest. More people know who Batman villains are than more of the other DC villains.
Well, and that's why I always say, like, that's never my criteria. It's because I remember years and years ago getting into an argument with a friend who wasn't really into comics, but he said that Batman has the best rogues gallery, and I was like, I actually prefer Flashes, and he's like, well, you're wrong. Flash sucks. And I was like, okay, let's pump the brakes here.
But it is true though. I mean, I imagine on average there's more people who know Riddler, Two-Face, and Catwoman.
Right.
More than
that
they've
makes
been in the public
better
consciousness since
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, I'm obviously there's an obvious reason for it. I'm not saying it's like just this miraculous thing. I'm just saying, like, if you're doing power rankings, like Two-Face probably does rank higher than someone like Zod. Not because I think he should, just because more people know who Two-Face is.
I do think he should. He's my favorite Bat villain. So
you like Two-Face more than Zod?
This is a terrible question and what it has done to us.
No, it's a great question because it's caused conversation. This is
no. Well, in just the chaos it's caused amongst us.
The chaos.
This is like what Game of Thrones has done. Whereas, sure, you might hate what's going on, and I'm not going to talk about that, but it's caused discussion. And I think that's greater.
It's caused a bunch of babies making petitions.
Hey, I got to tweet about Game of Thrones this week because like all the hubbub about what was happening, and I've not watched it since early season 2. I hate the show. It's boring as shit to me. But I sympathize with Game of Thrones fans. As a DC Comics fan, I know what character assassination feels like, so I can sympathize.
Yeah, this wasn't done with a bullet through the head, but
Yeah.
Rick, I was actually thinking of Wally, but yeah, Rick Grayson, sure.
Sure, take Wally too.
Well, it's the same thing. It's here. We're doing something. We need to wrap it up. Let's do this.
Okay.
And that's never a good reason to do anything. Ever.
Absolutely.
So,
yeah. All right. So that's all the questions. Then we'll get off this power ranking.
Less controversial questions.
Less controversial. Okay. From @Dr. DC, you're hired to write the exit of a famous hero. How do you do it, and who takes up their mantle, if anyone?
Do I do it?
Go on.
Do I do it?
Do it.
Well, the Rick Grayson stuff never happens, right? And we get Dick as Batman again.
Yes.
And Bruce gets to go be happy, and go do whatever, not be Batman.
Okay, it's easy to say Dick takes the mantle, but here's the question: How do you write Batman out? What?
I just said it.
No. See, I could never accept that. Like, Bruce just goes and be happy. No, it doesn't.
No, that's where King's going in issue 100. I'm telling you this now.
He's been teasing things. He's been on the websites this past week teasing.
He has. And if that's the case, I will be happy about the outcome. In that we're gonna get Dick bats because that's the best bats.
Yeah.
But Bruce doesn't go away and be happy. That's not Bruce.
They do until someone kills Dick, and he has to take up the mantle.
Video ideas.
Look. Let's stay away from Batman because Batman's just the obvious answer that we can all just throw out Dick Grayson immediately.
Do I do the other one? Is Wally fixes himself, and Barry goes into the Speed Force, and now we get Wally as Flash again, whole time.
What? Why is it Matt's answers are all just here's the thing that happened before? I want this to happen again.
I suspect that is a reasonable percentage of comic fans.
Okay. Let's do something interesting. How do you?
These are comedy answers. I don't mean many of these.
How do you kill off Wonder Woman, and then who do you pick to replace her? Right. I'm going to be specific here with some of these, just to force some good answers out of you.
Here's mine: is that Wonder Woman dies in battle, whatever some big event is. It's the gods come to Earth.
Can I add something on? Can I add something on to this?
No.
She dies in battle to save Cheetah.
Yes, that's fine. That's fine.
Yes.
Does she have to die?
Yes.
Because my scenario for Wonder Woman is not a death.
Okay, that's just fine. You can write her off some other way. Okay.
Matt can carry on then.
Okay, so she dies in battle. She saves Barbara Ann, right? And so, who's gonna pick up this mantle of defender of freedom and whatever she is, ambassador. and Donna Troy's not doing anything, right? So, right, she needs purpose. So she takes Diana's mission, and she goes on, and her and Barbara Ann almost have like this. It's kind of almost like Bruce and Terry on Batman Beyond, right? With Barbara Ann kind of helping keep the memory alive of Wonder Woman, and sometimes she has cheetah outbursts, so she has to keep contained, But she's on the side of the angels now, and Donna Troy is the new Wonder Woman.
All right, that's not bad, not bad. You get one for Wonder Woman there as well, apparently.
I'm less concerned with who takes the mantle. Donna Troy, fine, sure.
Mm-hmm.
But the exit, I would do. You know how we had the whole thing where she was a god not that long ago.
Mm-hmm.
I would kind of do that where she ascends to godhood, not god of war, because I think that's a bit messy.
God of justice, Scott Snyder, get on it.
Oh, please. But no, seriously, I think she has to ascend to godhood and take a seat in Olympus, and sure, she'll appear every so often and interfere in the same way that some of the other gods do, but it wouldn't be her running around as Wonder Woman.
Here's the book I want based off of that now. I want Olympus to be like a boardroom, right? And
Isn't it anyway?
Huh?
Isn't that what it is anyway?
I mean, yeah, but actually do those tropes.
Zeus is your CEO.
Yeah, right. And it's them trying to manage things, and she's the new person they're bringing in. She's been down there with them. She has the perspective. And
here's the thing: we know from Greek mythology that they can just raise people to godhood, who are demigods already. Which,
right?
Is she still a demigod?
Yeah, Zeus is still her dad.
She's still that, right? Okay, so we know Dionysus, right, was raised to godhood. Was a demigod, was raised to godhood. So we can do that with her and can create a new position in the same way that it was for
Imagine loving drunken debauchery so much that they make you the god of drunken debauchery.
I know. But you said you're the god of justice. Yeah. Sure, you could do that. Truth would have worked for Diana too.
Yeah.
But the idea of we'll raise her to godhood as a reward.
Yeah. I want this book now. I like it.
So I would basically just recreate Titanic with Barry and Iris, and at the end of Titanic, Iris is just too selfish to let Barry up on the door, so he drowns and freezes to death.
Yeah, but here's the problem with that: is he'd keep his legs moving at super speed and stay warm.
There's power dampers on the Titanic.
Okay, he is Propeller Man, which is don't at me. That's the best part of Titanic. The dude falls, dings off the propeller. 13-year-old me loved that part so much. He's
at the front of the ship, saying he's the king of the world, and then Darkseid snaps his fingers and Titanic splits in half.
All right, I think you're crossing cultural.
Oh, Matt, your mic's going.
That was not the story I was expecting.
I'd have Superman. I'd have him leave it to Kara, right? And she gets a new name, not Supergirl, Superwoman, like some other. But he goes off to retire to be with Lois.
All right, I'm going to give you something a bit more interesting, right? I don't know how I'm writing out Batman necessarily. He goes out in a blaze of glory. He does whatever. He's off being happy, whatever. His replacement is Cassandra Cain.
That's fine.
Cassandra Cain is Batman.
Does she have a cape?
Does she wants a cape?
Because that was one of my favorite parts of when Tomasi was writing. Was it Tomasi? Someone was writing Batman when Bruce had left, and Gordon said that he could tell that it was a different man in the suit by the cape didn't seem so heavy.
Yeah.
The fighting style completely changed.
Cass had a cape when she was Batgirl, so I think she can rock a cape. She knows what she's doing with a cape.
Don't sure she has the leadership qualities that I associate with Batman.
She's alone with Batman. This is the family's kind of disbanded, and she's taken up. Like almost all the family's retired, but Cass is like, no, I'm not letting this go, and she puts on the suit.
It's why like Dick works. I can see Tim working. Damian works, and they've all got the they always go as leaders to their respective teams. They their leadership material. Cass is excellent, but I never see her as a leader of a team.
Yeah,
I can't picture it.
Family vote. They all vote for Tim to take over for Batman. because he's the one that should be.
He is the one that should be. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be cool too. You just have an army
And
of
Jason
Batman
will
like
come
that,
in and be
man.
like, "Look, hey, it's clearly me," and they'll be like, "Piss off, Jason.
Yeah, go. You and your stupid crowbar.
Go have your
Skedaddle.
casino."
Yeah.
Oh, we'll get there later. Don't worry.
Jason, Jason dies off in a really ironic way. You know, he falls off a cliff and lands 3 feet away from a trampoline, right? And then Guy Gardner replaces him as Red Hood, so that someday he can also die equally ironically.
It's one of these stupid reimaginings though, where he's called Red Hood because he drives a car with a red hood. Right, just around. Like, it's like Oh my God, Knight Rider with Guy Gardner. Shut up! I want this book now.
All right, Booster Gold goes out in a blaze of glory, and he passes on his tech
Booster Gold.
to Kate Man.
No, Booster Gold has to pass it on to a different version of Booster Gold.
No, come on, think about it. Think about it.
No, Kate Man, no, hell no.
This is the perfect person to replace Booster.
No, I'm not with you on that one. Sorry.
Oh, come on.
No. I don't know.
Look,
I want fucking Guy Gardner
will-
Knight Rider.
I will read your Titanic. It's no $2 billion movie, but I'll read it. This one I'm taking a line.
All right.
How did we not see that iceberg? Speed Force.
Speed Force, bro.
All right, next question. A couple more I want to do. Where's that one? The Talking Superman one that wasn't the jokey one. All right, who are your favorite non-superheroing support characters? So Matt can stream Lois Lane if you want, just quickly.
Yeah,
It's obvious, isn't it? Lois, Jimmy, Alfred.
Jim Gordon.
Yeah.
Gordon. Sassy Alfred. That's my caveat.
Sassy Alfred. Yeah, sure.
I love Tom King's Sassy Alfred. Tom Taylor used him a little bit too, but yeah, in that story that we all love from the annual.
Yeah. No, that's good stuff.
Yep.
Who's some recent favorites? I really liked the best friend in Sideways, Ernie. She was cool.
Yeah, Ernie was cool.
Liked her a lot.
I'm trying to get away from love interests.
Yeah, because that's the really obvious thing to do.
During Johns' run with Barry, there was that was it Johns' run? There was the character that kind of raised him. It's kind of who they made Joe West on the TV show. I forget his name, but he was pretty cool. He was like this dad figure. He was a cop on the squad. Friend of Barry's mom. Maybe that wasn't Johns. Maybe that came in New 52, and that was Buccellato and Manipul.
I think it maybe says something that for a lot of the characters I can think of a love interest, but I can't necessarily think of much more of a supporting cast for some of them.
Yeah, it depends who you go. I mean, you got Bullock, you got Montoya as a cop, pre-question.
Yeah, I mean,
stuff.
Batman and Superman have tons of them.
Tons.
Perry.
Yeah.
Pick
a character and we'll see how many we can get.
Oh,
I mean, Steve Trevor.
Yeah, Etta's pretty good.
Etta. Like Candy.
Yeah, she's good.
Yeah.
Drop my pen.
Linda, that's a love interest. But then you had all the people during John's Wally run that worked at the police station, all the different cops.
Mm-hmm.
They were cool. Like Singh, like Director Singh was up there.
Honestly, I think it's something that's really missing from a lot of modern comic books is some regular people, supporting characters who are around for a lot of it.
And we'll talk about that when we get to Naomi, because I feel like Bendis is killing that aspect of the side characters to Naomi that make Naomi so great. Because she has people to play off of. Non-superpowered. I mean, kind of run that course, right? Like, who was
limited?
Who was the Ollie's tech guy? Yeah. See, we can't remember his name though.
Fife. There
we go. I like Fife. Fife's pretty cool.
Car's not so sure.
For some reason, I thought that was like the bad guy.
No, definitely wasn't.
Fife.
No, Fife was the
Henry Fife.
Yeah, he was a techie.
Yeah.
He was a techie. Yeah, maybe we need more of those these days. Maybe that's the big thing.
We need that supporting character.
Maybe that's
not
the big
superpowered.
thing. Yeah. So I think we'll leave the questions there. We did get a few more, so thanks to everyone else who put in questions.
Yeah.
But
Well, I had one sent to me directly that I think Pete might help with, but
oh god,
let's talk cold.
All right, okay. Matt got one. You throw in one final question,
Yes.
Matt. Go on.
Yeah. But it was basically pick a villain to win a Royal Rumble, right? Any DC villain. And I thought, oh man, I really hate Shawn Michaels. So who's the Shawn Michaels of DC, right?
Of the villains,
Yeah.
someone
And I
who's
had a little bit of
cocky.
help. I talked to Alden, who's the current, he loves Shawn Michaels, regardless, and we came up with Thawne, right? Because he's that one guy that could get under your skin,
Oh yeah.
and you're rooting for him to lose, but he doesn't, right? So there's mine. Let's talk cold. And on the opposite of that villain would be Captain Cold, who's the Bret Hart, right? He's the everyman. He's the hard worker. He's the one that gets no respect from the masses despite all the hard work. So I feel that it would come down to those two, and Thawne would cheat to win. So there we go. Connor's checked out.
Yeah, honestly, I don't know I know of what a Royal Rumble is.
Yeah.
I don't know what the concept is. So
It's the best event of the year. It's every 2 minutes. So it starts with two guys in the ring. Every 2 minutes, a new person comes in for a battle royal. You lose by getting tossed over the ring. You got to go over the rope, both feet hit the ground, and it's the one event that non-wrestling fans can watch because you can do like a lottery where everybody picks a certain amount of numbers, and then so you're rooting for that number the whole time. Like you don't have to know about the character or the wrestler or whatever. So
doesn't whoever's last just have like a big advantage?
Yeah.
sometimes,
Yeah.
but actually, out of all the ones they've done, the number 30 competitors only won like 4 or 5 times.
They always talk about how much of a big advantage it is, yet it never
Yep.
actually happens because they want a surprising winner.
Well, that's because it's got the beauty of being scripted.
Yes.
Yeah, well, there's that, and usually the winner comes from about 18 to 20, so there's still enough to build, from there. But yeah, it's quite fun. I always feel bad for the year Rey Mysterio came out at 30 and should have been cheered because it was his return, but they all wanted Daniel Bryan, and the dude got booed out the building. So.
And every so often they'll do the special thing where someone comes in at number 1 and wins the whole thing.
Yeah,
They'll last the whole
the
time.
Iron Man.
Yep.
Stupid Shawn Michaels.
Shawn Michaels, Redacted, and someone else did it later.
Redacted.
We're not allowed to say Chris Benoit's name, Matt. He's Redacted.
I know. It's still. Love how you called him Redacted, though.
Yeah, there was a really weird meme on the internet for a long time where people would Photoshop out Benoit from images and stuff and replace him with Lance Storm, and I don't know why they picked Lance Storm. I guess it was just because he's another Canadian guy, but
well, it's they trained together. They kind of came up, but he's also kind of similar to Benoit, but without the charisma. Nothing against Lance Storm if he ever hears this, because from what I hear, great guy, zero charisma though, which is Benoit, where he had this magnetism to him. Which makes everything that happened that much more tragic.
Yeah.
So, but yeah.
Oh well.
And that man was Lance Storm. Pete knows the exact meme I'm talking about.
Yes. Yes. He also drove. What was the big mystery in WCW for a long time? It was who drove the Humvee, right?
I don't remember. WCW I was kind of out on.
I never really watched it either, but there's just a couple of memes that kind of survive from that go. Do you know how weird it is? There's a new wrestling show going to be on TNT. It's so weird.
Yep. And the joke is those guys started doing the NWO stuff as a joke, and now they've kind of taken over the WCW market. So. But yeah, this has been the Wrestling Minute with Matt and Pete.
I know. Maybe I'll actually enjoy this new thing because I'm not interested in the current product from anything else right now.
It was one of these things that just came up, and it's going to be here in my hometown a week from today, and tickets are ridiculous. And it's in the first building I ever saw professional wrestling in, too, which makes it that much weirder. At the MGM Grand Garden Arena. So.
Well then, that'll take us on to the books, and starting off we have Batman issue 71, Tom King writing with Mikel, Janin and Jorge Fornes on the art. So
Guess I'll stop checking my emails then.
What?
Why?
After all the wrestling.
Oh,
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
done.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So, did it upset anyone else when like Babs is calling all the Bat family to come and see Batman because it's like crisis mode, and
Yeah.
Rick Grayson's like, "Yeah, that's not who I am. Like, don't remind me of this."
Yeah, but I feel like that's the point. You know what I mean? Like, it was meant to upset us.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about that. I think they were supposed to feel sad. I don't think we were supposed to feel annoyed.
See, I do. That might just be me imposing. Or not imposing. What's the talk of it? Like the projecting?
Projecting.
That's
Yeah.
the word. Yeah. So, yeah, that sucked. But I love that Babs has become the go-to member now.
She
Now
feels
that
yeah.
Dick's gone.
Now that Dick's gone, she feels like the elder kind of the
Yep.
oldest kid.
Yes, even though they're playing her at the teenage stuff in her own book, still.
Well, not teenage. She's
Well,
like college
she's
age.
college.
No, she is, but a lot of it feels like the teenage drama, is what I mean.
Oh,
I don't know if I agree with that.
yeah, that's a bit of a stretch.
She was volunteering at a for a local.
Politician.
Yeah, I know she
Politician,
was.
there we go.
That.
And she had a
Political
company.
reasons.
She had her own company
Yeah.
that was successful.
And it's
I
being,
know it still often feels like a teenage drama.
I don't agree with that at all, Connor. But to each their own.
Yeah.
But no, I do like this because it fits in with the whole, because she's older than Dick, right?
Yeah.
Is that still the, so she wasn't exactly a sidekick like Robin, but she worked with Batman, I feel, but no, I liked, here's a shocker. I actually liked this issue.
Oh.
Like, I think I'm
That is a
back to
shocker.
Batman.
Yeah. You didn't hate the last issue, though, did you?
No, but I didn't
Yeah.
like it. Like, it was fine. This one, I'm like, oh, okay, this is interesting because, and I'm sure King will pull the rug out from under me. But the way that this read, where it feels like it's almost like it's two different realities, and like Batman's got like a schism going on. Like he's living in both.
Well, I mean, this is how I would describe it. Basically, what King's doing with this run is he's doing Nightfall, but it's not physical; it's mental.
Right. Yeah.
And this issue is kind of the one,
And not as good.
and
Well, I've never read Nightfall, so I can't.
arguably not as good. But like this issue is, he calls all the Bat family and he shines the red signal in the sky, and Babs like hears, because Gordon comes in complaining about that asshole, we're not in good terms, you shouldn't be here, and Babs like,
How dare him come to my building?
yeah, and she's like, red signal, and she's like, okay, right, take me to rally the troops, and she calls everyone, and like who can show up shows up, and it almost like he's like, no, we're going to storm into Arkham, we're going to do this, and everything's fine. They go into Arkham, and it's like, no, it's running business as normal. No one's escaped. Like, the nurse or whoever's just standing there is like, no, what's wrong? why are you here?
Which makes me think the whole last issue, what the hell was going on?
No, it's interesting because I think it's very clearly implied here at the end, because we have these two stories going at the same time, where Bane came to the mansion with Thomas Wayne, and Batman gets so upset that he knocks food out of Alfred's hand and all that, and at the end when they're like, no, Alfred didn't see your father, and it didn't sound like Bane actually came to the house, or if he did, like it seems like Alfred's just concerned about Bruce, like he's acting crazy. So it sounds like he's properly, like, he's went off the deep end here, and he's not in his right mind. And when they bring up Catwoman, like he dexed him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he had it coming though.
What? Hey, let me help you, or let us help you. And oh yeah, that deserves a punch in the face.
No, I know. I said it to be funny.
Do I have a question?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Why is Huntress here?
Because Dick Grayson couldn't be.
But seriously, I can't remember the last time I saw Huntress interact with any of the Bat family. It might be the Dick
Birds of Prey.
Grayson Spiral stuff. A
No.
little bit of Birds of Prey, I suppose. Yeah.
All the Birds of Prey.
Yeah,
Well,
she was there the
no,
whole
I meant
time.
a little bit. Yeah, that count. But that was very separate from.
I mean,
that
The Bertinelli. Here's how I'm going to rationalize it. Is the Bertinelli crime family? She's come back and she's been in Gotham operating, to keep that under wraps. But I really just feel like they needed an extra member. They couldn't have Catwoman, right? She's off in
Yeah.
Via Hermosa.
Batwoman is busy because we see her.
That's the one that I thought too. Was like, why not swap Batwoman for Huntress? Because you could have easily had her. Well, no, I'm busy. You know.
Yeah.
And have Batwoman be there because it really is just a role where she's standing there.
Is
Maybe
that
Kate.
supposed to be Luke Fox saying no?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's Fox.
I couldn't see enough of him to tell for sure, and no, distinguishing features.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that full page spread though, where they're all jumping off the roof together, looks really nice.
Yeah. Well, I like my favorite page in the Snyder book is the double page of them on the rooftop, and
Nice
just the gap between Batman and the rest of them.
Yeah.
Like that's cinematic storytelling, right there.
Yeah, I wish I hadn't seen that like 100 times on Twitter before I read it, but
Yeah.
See, I didn't. So when I got that page, it hit.
Is anyone else finding the art swapping really jarring?
No, because again, I feel like it's meant to create this schism of almost two different realities that Bruce is living in.
Yeah.
I get that come the end of this, but just when I'm reading it, it felt.
It never bothered me. Because especially when you get to the kind of like the context of it, and it's like the stuff that the Batman's on his own, or he's with Bane and he's in the mansion. All that stuff might not really be happening, or it's happening, but Bane's not actually there. And
No, I get. That's what I mean. There's context for it by the time you get to the end of the issue. But as I was reading through it, I was really disliking the way it was. Just the double page spreads, because you have a double page spread with it at the table into the double page spread on the roof, and I found it just really jarring, and it kept taking me out of it.
I loved the scene where after Bane's been at the mansion and Alfred he's picking Bruce up and Bruce is all beat up. He basically ends the page with saying, "Sir, you've lost this time. For maybe the first time you've truly lost, because you're broken right now." And I used that word. I chose that word carefully because he's broken. That's kind of the point.
That's what he says.
Yeah,
He's broken
Alfred
you.
says at the end.
Yeah,
that's the last. And oh man. This is what leads to Zur-En-Arr, people. You want Zur-En-Arr? That's how you get broken Batman. Right? He's gonna start wearing purple and yellow and red.
Because it makes me excited. It makes me excited that the comeback. Where Bruce realizes what is going on with him, where he becomes self-aware of this.
Yeah, and in the hero's journey cycle, this is the belly of the whale. This is where he's at his lowest.
Yeah.
And he can. There's only one place to go, and that's straight on up.
And I have to imagine like City of Bane starting at 75 is going to be kind of the maybe he'll have his moment before the end of this arc, but City of Bane is going to be the rise of like him kind of becoming the Bat again.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, no, I like how ethereal it all kind of feels, because it all still feels like a dreamscape, but it actually means something, unlike the other ones that we were forced to read, right, over those 4 months. So, but yeah. No, I really enjoyed this issue.
I like this issue as well.
For the first time in a long time.
I've typically liked everything King's done with Batman and Bane. I just that break for Nightmares was rough. And it's not that there was never a weaker issue before that. There was here or there, but for the most part, I like what the overall run's doing.
Yeah. I like the coloring. I'll say that too.
Oh yeah.
The coloring on those Janin pages, where it almost feels neon-y. Like, where there's like a haze in the air.
Yeah, I do like that. You can see the glow around the neon signs, and there's an actual glow. It's quite nice.
Also, that last page where it's like half like him with the family when he punches Tim, and then
the shatter.
Yeah, the shatter is very unbreakable, very split. Mm-hmm. Which might even be an intentional reference for
like glass.
Yeah,
gotta get the last one in there.
Like glass, yes. Maybe Split's the one that you compare it to the most, though, the idea that he's fractured kind of thing.
Yeah.
That makes the most sense. But no, I like this issue of Batman. Admittedly, it was rough for a few months there, and it's not necessarily quite climbed up to being like one of the most exciting things to read. It wasn't the first thing I read this week. There was a few other things that I wanted to get to first, but it was solid.
I read it first to get it out of the way, because I only had 3 books, so I thought, all right, I'll read that first, and then I've got 2 things that I'm looking forward to after.
That's usually what I do.
In hindsight, maybe I should have sandwiched it in the middle, but Yeah.
Yeah, that's so. What we give Batman,
I'm giving it an 8.
Connor?
I give it a 5.
I will also give it an 8. I think an 8 is a fair score for this issue. So that'll take us on to Superman issue 11. Brian Michael Bendis writing with Ivan Reis on the art. And this is Superman and John get into space to try and find Jor-El and see what all the chaos is. And I want to give credit to... I didn't actually get the tweet up to actually check who this was. But someone did tweet us after the last issue and asked us, like, hey, what about Zod in that panel? Is he working with Zar? Mm-hmm. And I looked at it and went, that does kind of look like him, but it's kind of weird how it doesn't actually address it in any way. And then this issue is like, no, here's like kind of... We don't get everything, but it's like, no, Zar is somehow talked Zod into working with him. We don't get all the details yet, but...
Yeah, but I felt here is that Zod's like, yeah, okay, I'll work with this dude, but just enough until I can turn on him. You know,
maybe, yeah.
Because there's no way that the Zod that I know and understand will work with a guy that maybe had something to do with the destruction of Krypton.
Yeah, he's maybe playing the long game because we get this like day flashback where he's like, hey, let's go out.
God.
What?
Zar sitting there eating.
Oh yeah.
Like, it's the most mustache twirly he's been, and at first I was like, oh, this is terrible. And then I got to the end of that scene, I was like, oh, actually, it works because we're seeing like what an actual villain is compared to Zod. Like, as bad as Zod is, and he's trying to destroy Earth and whatever, replace it with Krypton. But like Zar is like, no, I'm gonna sit here and eat and get stronger, and you can't. And you gave me your best shot already, so work with me or die.
Yeah, he's really gloaty because he's like, I already won the fight, and you could try fighting me again, but there's no yellow sun here. Like you're not going to be getting powerful.
Which I just want to know what the hell's up with Zar that he can maintain this type of stuff in the Phantom Zone. You know, where Zod was the master of the Phantom Zone, right? He had been there forever, and whatnot. Like, but they also have a mutual enemy in Jor-El. He brings up, you know, this is Jor-El's zone. And whatnot. So, but I definitely think he's playing the long game.
Yeah, I feel like Zod, not necessarily a face turn, but he's going to turn on Zar.
Yeah. There's a mutual villain here. Yeah. You know?
So, Superman and Jor-El there, and all out war, there's the various alien races all attacking Jor-El, or they're just fighting and Jor-El's in the middle of it. It's hard to tell.
Yep.
And Superman's like, oh, well, I better show John how to deal with this without killing anyone. And, he swoops in. There's some great big pages of chaos and flying and
I love even more how he goes about the 3 different alien races there, right? You have the Thanagarians, the Kuns, and the what are they called? We finally get a name of what Gandello is. The Trillium Collective, right? And we've all seen them pop up in Supergirl and other stuff. But I just like he goes up to the Thanagarians and he's like, I said please. Like, ceasefire. It jolts him enough. The Thangarian guy, he's like, I will if they will, right? But Superman knows that's not how you deal with the Kuns. So he goes to the Kuns and he's like, no, do this or be destroyed, and I will because I'm Superman. You know, I just love seeing all that. Is you just don't go in there and start throwing punches, John. This is how you do it.
Yeah, and the book ends in the same place as Supergirl did, because basically John and Superman are kind of outnumbered, they're outgunned. Jor-El's there as well. Zar's here, and don't get me wrong, I loved because the big thing in the action in this book is that while Superman's fighting Zar when Zar comes back, there's this great moment where John's left alone with Zod. For the first time ever, we see John with Zod. And John looks scared, but then you turn the page and he punches the shit out of Zod in the face, and it's really satisfying.
And Zod looks upset.
Yeah.
Like how, because at that point I was like, oh, they're working it to where it's gonna turn out that Zod's not gonna hurt him.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And then you turn that page and you see him punch him. You're like, uh-oh.
Yep.
So
yeah, it's a great page look because even after that, he still feels intimidated. He still feels that John's in trouble because every time Clark looks over and he can't get to him because Zod grabs John at one point, but then he tries to fly away, but Rogol Zod grabs him. He can't get to him.
Yep.
And chaos is happening. But it's basically at this moment we get the final page, which is the mirror of the Supergirl book, where Supergirl is riding up with the axe in the ground with Krypto.
Yep.
So now the whole family's together to fight as one. So that's
you could say they're united.
Yeah, it's a neat little crossover coming up here. So
should be fun.
Yeah, no,
art's decent. I like Ivan Reis, but the more I see, I think it's good. But I feel like he hasn't been at his best with Superman. Maybe it's the inking or
sure.
Or
I think it's solid. I think the art's good. But it definitely is maybe being outshone a little bit with Action Comics right now, just to compare it.
That might be it too.
But even in story, I think Action Comics is the better book. But I think Superman's actually still been really solid. And this, I think the stuff with John and Zod was probably my favorite stuff. And then I think the cliffhanger with Supergirl, had this book been first out, but I liked it at the end of the Supergirl as well. So either way, the other one was going to negatively impact the other's cliffhanger because it's like the same thing we already kind of had, just reversed. But it's nice they both ended that way, so that next month we get the little crossover.
I mean, my only problem with that is in Supergirl, you see her being greeted by John and Cal, right? Here, she's coming in full war. So
I assume that just means that by the time she actually gets up top,
right. I mean, just a little bit of continuity wonkery, but not too much. So.
Yeah, just a little bit. No, it was solid though. What are you giving Superman?
I'm gonna give this 7.5.
I'm gonna give it an 8. I was into it. I think the teasing of John and Zod, and more specifically, I think Superman realizing that John's with Zod and not being able to get to him was a really kind of thrilling moment. So.
Well, it makes me think, too, that you think, oh, Zod, that this is another Kryptonian, but then you remember, oh, no, John's not. He's half.
Yeah.
So how would that make Zod feel? You know, is this promise of, like, Krypton and Earth can be unified? Right? Like, we can continue the dream of Krypton? Or is he going to be like, oh, no, he's a filthy half-breed?
Yeah,
you
maybe.
Know? Like,
I wonder if we pull a trick at some point where Kryptonite only affects John half as much.
Maybe. Maybe when he reaches full, like, maturity. You know, or because I always thought that it's like, so Clark wasn't born under a yellow sun, right? He just gets power from there. But how would that affect John differently? Being that he was, like, we're gonna say that he was, because what was that? Superman Reborn went and retconned a bunch of the stuff that he was born in the fortress. Like Batman and Wonder Woman, they were attending to Lois. So if he's born under a yellow sun, does that make him a little bit more powerful? Or what? So,
I wouldn't have thought so, given that Clark was not very old when he was under. There's not that much extra time.
Yeah,
I don't know. Maybe the human DNA makes it dampens it a little bit more. Like Pete's saying, it only affects his Kryptonian half. So
yeah,
I don't know.
Or makes him stronger, because that was one of the things in Super Sons, right? Is that John will actually be stronger ultimately because he's a mix of human and Kryptonian.
Right.
So we'll see how it goes. But all right, there you go. That's Superman. And I was distracted there for a second because my phone's been vibrating because Tim's been sending messages to chat.
Yeah, I solved it for him.
Yeah. About
he was a little confused about some political shenanigans in the UK.
Related
that Burger King may or may not be tweeting about.
Yes, cheekily.
I will say that I love that people have been asking McDonald's not to sell milkshakes around a certain rally.
Yeah.
Which, as someone that loves milkshakes, would be very upset.
I would be too. And but yeah.
Because who's to say I'm going to throw one at do I look like I've ever thrown a milkshake?
What a waste.
Yeah. Anyways.
You've consumed every milkshake you've ever held in your hand, Matt.
That's true. I've never turned one down.
And more.
Yeah.
All right.
That said, I'm down 6 pounds, you a-holes. Thanks.
All right. I'm glad.
We can't see that.
Hey.
No.
But I've been eating healthier this week. I've been going for walks multiple days this week. Get some,
you.
I know. I've gone to walks. I've almost entirely cut out soda. I've been drinking water all week.
Good.
And what else did I do? Oh yeah, I've almost cut out almost all dairy actually. So
that's good. I mean, I found when it comes to dairy, if it's in liquid form, it messes me up worse. The older I get, the more lactose intolerance hits me hard. But stuff like cheese, I'm okay with. So as long as I don't have to give up cheese, I'm okay. But
I
like, I haven't had a glass of milk. I can't tell you how long.
Yeah, I've been doing good this past week or so. So
I'm proud of you.
yeah, thank you, Matt.
It'll
I'm
make
proud
those
of
like
you.
make those life decisions now. Don't wait. I waited till I was 31 to start hitting the gym again. So
Well,
isn't that much harder?
head start. I just turned 30, so I'm in there.
I have no plans.
Well, either Connor has to eat crow in a few years' time when he realizes he has to do this as well, or he will die young and we can just laugh at his grave. I mean, I'm okay with either one, Matt. I don't know about you.
I'll be honest, kind of okay with dying younger as long as I get to eat what I want. I would rather lose 10 years and be miserable about not eating what I want.
Yeah, don't get this twisted. I learned to like salads, right? You just have to have enough dressing, you know.
So you don't like the salad, you like the sauce.
No, but still, like, within reason, you know. And then I also realized you can add meat to a salad. No one says it just has to be, you know.
I love that Matt's like, I like some salad with my sauce, with my dressing.
Oh no, it's never that bad. Like, trust me. But like, you know, but I still eat what I want. I just only eat it within certain hours. Like, you know, last night I might have eaten 7 tacos for dinner, and washed it down with a custard concrete.
Yeah, yeah. No,
but-
it's just it's crazy because obviously it's Ramadan right now.
Yeah.
So there's guys at work. Obviously, you can't eat or drink during while the sun's up.
Yep.
So they get up, eat at like 2 a.m. before sunrise.
So just to clarify here, Ramadan is basically a way to be cosplaying a vampire for a month, right? That's basically
Kind of. Hey, what's funny is the Bosnian guy I used to work with, who was Muslim, had no other Muslim like traditions, right? Only thing he would follow is Ramadan, and he would always use it as a weight loss thing because he couldn't eat when the sun was up. It meant like he wouldn't be eating.
All the guys at work use it as a way to get save money because you're not allowed to buy like luxurious things for yourself. Obviously, you can buy food or whatever, but you can't buy like just stuff because you want it. So you end up with all this extra money at the end of the month that you didn't have.
Yeah.
So, and then obviously you end up just blowing it all within a week after. But that's not the point.
Yeah, but within 2 weeks of Ramadan being over, he would be back ordering food from Carl's Jr. You know, like So yeah.
But I feel bad for them because it's just I'm there wolfing away at my food, and he's just sat there like just sitting like staring at his phone watching Netflix, so he's not seeing people.
Does that taste good? When I wrestled, some of the lower weight guys would do this thing where like if they really wanted pizza but they couldn't have it because they were cutting weight, they would just chew it and then spit it out. So they would like get the essence of it. And I always joked as a heavier weight, there's no way my body works that way because if I put pizza in, it's going all the way down.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's no spitting it out unless I'm choking. Like, man, it's crazy.
All right, do you want to talk about Justice League?
Not really, but we can.
Oh, that doesn't sound good. Justice League issue 24. Scott Snyder writing, Jorge Jimenez on the art. So what didn't you like about Justice League?
I just feel like there's no drama in any of this now. Is like, yeah, Snyder and company want us to believe that Batman's, greater gooding this all. But we all know he's got a plan up his sleeve, and this is not where it's going to go. Like, Superman's going to get out of wherever he's at.
Yeah, the ending...
The first 5 pages is fantastic.
Yes, I love that, but the pacing is completely off. Like, I feel this should have been the last issue. When I got to the end of this arc, and there's still more, I'm just like, all right.
I really like the first, like you say, 5 pages was Superman enjoying the flashback, and then Superman's on his own in like space, and it's just kind of really sad. I actually kind of like the fun kind of running away from the jailers and Lois, try to get to the portal, just some sci-fi hijinks.
Yeah, I really like all that.
Although my big problem at the end of that though is when they all turn around and say, "Oh, we all know the heroes you can be now," or something like that. And I'm like, you've literally been in the presence of these versions of the villains for 10 minutes.
But what I like, Darkseid notwithstanding, the ones that are there with him, I feel are the ones that could be a hero. Maybe
Sinestro.
Maybe just Cheetah and Sinestro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I did enjoy when they're all saying nice things to their counterparts.
Yeah.
Grodd says,
I still hate you.
I still hate you.
Yeah.
Thanks, Grodd. Like that made me laugh. But here's the thing: the ending frustrated me because it feels like another Snyder bullshit cliffhanger. Because in no way, shape, or form is this Batman actually betraying the Justice League and trying to actually achieve this future. In no way is that happening.
No. You know,
and that suit is stupid. I hate that outfit there.
Yeah, I hate the whole idea of him calling it a sun box because like, what, father and mother box are both taken, so we're gonna go sun. Why not just call it something else?
I don't know. I'm not a fan of the Batman part of this issue.
No,
everything
either am I.
else I really like.
And
I like a lot.
And Batman built Cerebro. Can we just acknowledge that for a second?
Yeah, like that's call it
Mega
something.
Cerebro.
The bat, like, call it the Bat Chamber or something. But the sun box, that sounds like a room where you go to get flipping a suntan, where Connor goes to die.
It's a giant sauna.
Yeah, right. Like,
yeah, that does sound terrifying.
I don't
Keep it away from.
But I was reading this and I love those first 5 pages. I love the Jimenez art. Like, it's great. But once we started getting to the other stuff and we got to that end, it's just like, all right, so we got another issue to see how this turns out, and we get to the Justice Doom War. Like, I don't know. The Free Comic Book Day stuff just kind of, I don't know. Like, I always knew this is just a storyline. It's not going to be.
Yeah. Well,
but the drama's taken out. The page turningness of it is gone for me.
I mean, I've felt that for a few issues because I felt like just the emotional weight of everything that we're going through and this sixth dimension stuff just felt just so like, let's just throw these big ideas at the wall and just have them happen. And they're going through them so quickly that there's no emotional weight. At least most of this issue, I was kind of into just the fun of it, except the ending and just like them all having this tender moment with the villains before they leave. Because like hell, I would love to read a miniseries about this team of villains who are actually heroes. You know,
and what I like too is that Snyder's kind of given us a multiverse back, because now if you have the whole World Forger in this, we can visit those Earths with the Dark Multiverse and in or worlds that have not yet turned corrupt.
And the kamikaze ending of the scene, with Sinestro saying "Let's be bad one last time." I was like, okay, that was a good line, that was a good moment. I feel like Snyder's really good at thinking of these moments that are really cool in concept, but there's no actual emotional weight building up to it to actually make it feel like it's a big deal.
Yeah. Well, and it also, within the grander thing, the other thing that I like is that maybe this version of Justice, I mean, I think it's Wonder Woman that says this isn't justice. Like, so they're good and bad, because I can kind of see, Lex's utopia of doom, right? Like the cynical world where everything knows exactly what it is. Versus this justice where things are hiding, right? This is the Taoism of it all. Like, you can't have all dark or all light, right? There has to be a little bit of each in both. And I like that thing, but the execution of it, I feel, is not what I'm wanting in it. Right? Is anybody else getting that?
Yeah, no, that's what.
I think I come out more positive overall, because I think, while I didn't enjoy the Batman stuff, I think I really like 80% of this issue. The Batman stuff, okay, yeah, sure. It's typical comic book cliffhanger bullshit. It is. There's no getting around.
But see, is that you just embracing doom? Whereas me and Peter are like, no, it shouldn't do that, and you're just like, it is what it is, right? Like, is Connor? Did he find the doorknob?
Mm-hmm. He definitely touched some sort of knob.
Very good.
I know.
But
okay, I got a question for you guys, because you guys, real quick, I'm gonna sidetrack. I was watching NXT UK.
Yes.
And they started chanting someone was a helmet. Is that slang for a dickhead?
That's an English thing. I can't tell you about this, but I would guess it. I would guess it means penis head.
Your helmet.
Okay.
Yes.
But Pete, they were up in Glasgow.
Don't say Glasgow, Matt. Right. Come on, Glasgow.
Yeah. They're up in Glasgow, right? So yeah, they started calling someone a helmet.
Maybe that's
and the crowd got
that is your helmet.
Okay. I just wanted to know, because the two guys they were chanting it at are like the worst. Like the crowd holds shoes up at him. I guess that's an insult too. Take your shoes off and show it to him. I don't know what that's about.
I don't know what that's about either.
That's
okay. So apparently it just goes
to
to Zach Gibson.
Thing.
Yeah. No, well, it happens everywhere that Zach Gibson goes. So it's like maybe it's a personal insult to him or whatever.
Yeah.
And they started chanting that the other guy, James Drake, is a helmet. So yeah, so I didn't know. Thought I'd ask you guys real quick while we're Pete brought up knob, and I learned that one from Stu when he called Pete a knobhead one time.
Yeah, I think it's weird how a lot of Americans, and Pete included, actually does this. It says knobhead or dickhead. Like they actually say that as two words.
Yeah.
Most people in England don't pronounce the H. It's knobhead. So it's just like knobhead. Yeah, and just say it like that. And same with dickhead.
I love your guys' insults, so they're my favorite thing.
I'm sorry that I pronounced words properly.
Yeah, but it's that's fine with other words, but the insult loses character when you say it that way.
I don't speak slang. I'm sorry, it just doesn't happen.
It's not slang. It's just the natural way to say it.
It's not the natural way to say it. It's the word dick. It's the word dick, and it's the word head. It's dickhead. This is a very English thing. I've never heard it. I don't think I've ever heard any Scottish people call it dickhead.
I've never heard the letter called Z until you guys. It's always just been Z, but you guys call it Z. Yeah, which is better.
That's better.
Yeah.
All right. Are we rating Justice League? Is that what's happening? That's a good art. I like the art.
Jimenez is great.
Yeah, Jimenez is good. I especially like the kamikaze thing, and then also the first chunk with Superman in the darkness and stuff. That was really pretty.
Yeah, that first section was fantastic.
Yeah. So what are you rating it, Matt?
7.
Carter?
7.5.
6.5. All right.
I really expected Matt to be lower based on the start of this conversation.
Yeah.
No, because I can't sync anything with Jimenez art that low. I just can't. It doesn't work that way.
Okay. So that will take us on to Aquaman issue 48. Kelly Sue DeConnick writing with Viktor Bogdanovic on the art, and Aquaman goes to speak to a really big shark.
Don't dare. God damn you.
It's Mother Shark, but as someone that hates the San Jose Sharks as much as I do, I can't not think of that. From this.
Prick. Now that damn song's in my head again.
Do. That one?
Yep.
What song? I'm confused.
Baby Shark.
Oh, Baby Shark.
Okay.
Do you not know what Baby Shark is?
I think I heard it, but it's just...
Yeah. It's a kid's song that has taken over YouTube.
It was everywhere for 3 weeks.
And one of our players fought one of the Sharks players and just completely owned it with them, and they played off the Sharks player with Baby Shark, so it's fantastic. But what I liked here is being the type of biology nerd that I am, Bogdanovic, I think, used a Greenland shark, which they found that Greenland sharks can live up to be 400 years old, right? So it's this really ancient looking shark that I feel like here we got in the art. But yeah, Connor's looking at Greenland shark.
I am looking at Greenland shark. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I can see it.
Yeah, you can see it.
Yeah.
Which I like. But I hope Mother Shark becomes a character, because I like this whole mythological take on Aquaman that Kelly Sue's using here.
I was a little worried going to this. So yeah, Bogdanovic is often very good, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But there was a concern in the back of my head that is this going to be really different? Because it's been, Roka's stuff has been really stylized for this book.
Yeah.
And has been very, unique amongst the line right now. And I thought, oh, okay, Bogdanovic is kind of just, I know what I'm usually know what I'm getting with Bogdanovic. And there are times where I felt that in this book with the memories, but everything else is fantastic.
To me, Bogdanovic is the perfect fill-in. You need to give an artist a break, but you don't need not that he's a house style. It's Bogdanovic from when you lay eyes on it, but there's not too much style that distracts from things.
Yeah.
So whereas Roka had this really personalized style for this art with the monsters and the gods and whatnot. Here, I felt like this is a perfect, we're going into this subspace with Mother Shark, so it can be a little bit not like Roka.
The best page of the book may be him walking out the water. Once he's drank the magic, stuff.
Mhm.
It's like he's in another plane of
Walking
existence.
into the water.
Yeah, he's getting in the water, and
Yeah,
his
and
head's
just
just sticking
sinking.
out. Yeah,
Yeah.
it looks good. Yeah, and then there's that big 2-page spread with the giant mama shark. So,
And it begs the question of how real is this, right?
yeah. Well, it says he's dead. It
Yeah.
says he died, and like
Yeah.
he's. But instead of going to wherever he's supposed to go, he was taken here because the old gods were basically asking for help.
Yeah, the old
need
gods
it.
were praying for help.
Yeah.
Right. And he's the type that can so if we get Aquaman like ocean god out of the end of this, I'll be so excited. Because that'll shut up everybody who's like, Aquaman's useless. Like, no. Everyone calls Superman a god, but he's not. He's an alien with superpowers. Aquaman, legit god. Like,
Yeah.
that'd be dope.
And the shark gives him a lot of his memories, not all of them, but he gives him some key memories. And then it's like, hey, like you could, like I can go show you more, but this process to like wipe your mind is not supposed to be undone. It could be dangerous. And he's like, no, show me more. I want everything.
Yep.
Yeah,
And
that page with the league is one of those where I felt, okay, this is Bogdanovic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
And again, that's not necessarily bad, but it stuck out in this book.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
It didn't bother me.
Roca's back on at least. I mean, the issue with Solicited we
Yeah.
talked about today. He's back on that one at the very least.
Yeah,
So he's probably
I
back on it
suspect
soon.
this is just between arcs.
Yeah. But it's interesting at the end. He finds out about Mira. So, this is your beloved. This is your loved one.
Red-headed woman.
And then also, and your killer is the final page. So
Yeah.
like.
So here's my take on this. Is this just a setup? Is this one of those BS cliffhangers, right? That we're gonna find out that she's the killer because he basically said, no, I have to go do this. And she, assisted in that from John Earth.
Yeah, is it an interpretation thing, or is it kind of linking to? Remember how when she first showed up, she was sent to kill him. She was meant to assassinate him.
Right.
Like, is it linking up with that stuff,
Right.
or is it, or is can we trust this shark? Is the shark actually giving him some?
This,
Right.
I'll be honest. When we got to this final page, I felt very similar to how I did on the ending of Justice League.
Yeah.
I was just like, right, okay.
We'll see. I like that though, because now if he comes back, he's gonna come back kind of as a blank slate. Like he knows everything now, but like it's a little bit different. So will he go in not trusting Mira?
Yeah, I think what separates them a little bit for me is that Snyder seems to do these big wacky things all the time. At least with here, like I'm enjoying kind of what the book's doing. It's doing it at a really nice pace where it's really letting all these things, no pun intended, sink in. And I feel like I'm assuming this will be a swerve and there'll be something more to this, but it'll happen in a reasonable amount of time where it'll affect how he thinks and what he does with the character. Like, what does Aquaman, does he trust me or does he not? Does he doubt himself? Like, I'm sure it'll actually play through the emotions that this presents, even if the cliffhanger itself does feel like a bit like a comic book cliffhanger. Whereas with Justice League, I feel like we're going to have some bullshit fight at the start of next issue, and then by the end of the issue, we'll find out what Batman's game plan really was the whole time. Like,
This one, the fact that there's branches of it versus Snyder's where we kind of know where it's going. There's kind of only one road there. There's multiple roads that we can go, so it doesn't offend me nearly as much.
Fair enough. I mean, it felt the same. I kind of turned and went, oh, it's just this.
We had all this talk. Was it last week with Flash Year One and what makes it a Year One? Looking at all these memories of Arthur, I want an Aquaman Year One now. Because
I'm sure you'll get one.
Him learning all the Atlantean stuff is cool, but like more or less, I just want to see him hang out with ocean animals. Like here.
You want that panel that I picked last week of Barry running and smiling for the first time. You want Arthur doing that, communicating with all the whales and shit.
Well, there's that, and like you get the images of him as a kid, right, with a floppy haircut, looking like he's talking to a sea turtle, or with the seals, like he's face to face with them, and like I want all that. I want that youthful like kiddie, like he's not jaded yet, right? He doesn't know I'm supposed to be a king, and I have to go do this,
So you definitely don't want the Momoa take.
I mean, I like the Momoa take, but that's mainly because I like Momoa's Aquaman, has nothing in common with the comic book Aquaman besides the name. I love the broiness there. Let's be real. That's Aquathor. That's what
Aquathor.
Momoa is.
That is
Yeah, you know.
that's exactly what he is.
So
I like this issue quite a bit. I think I'm liking what Kelly Sue's doing in the book. I like that it's I like how slow paced it is. I actually kind of like that it's taking its time, kind of just building things up and letting the atmosphere of the world that he's in and the art kind of let that speak a lot of what the book is doing. I like it. I mean, I know so some old school comic fans like hate how decompressed comic books can be now. But if it's done well, I'll have a good decompressed story.
I get that with some. I don't feel like this is as decompressed because, I mean, that first arc was only 5 issues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is, you know, less than the standard now, which is 6, right?
Yeah.
And I felt there was actually a fair amount of progression in that arc overall. So I don't know, this is definitely not as decompressed as some things are.
Oh sure.
No.
But I'm really digging the mythology stuff going on here.
Me too. Well, I just love this whole idea of Mother Shark, and she's the one that, you know, kind of cleans the ocean in that way of your memories.
Yeah, because so we've got all these gods of the different cultures. We've got the salt and water, right?
The salt and water. Yep.
And then the shark here, which is it's kind of like their passage to the underworld, right?
Yeah.
Their river
Sharon.
Styx. Yeah.
Yeah. Sharon, the ferryman of the, you know. And here Mother Shark's like, well, no, you were too important to take over to the other side. So
this is
here
getting to the gates of heaven and going, actually, could you just go and do something else for us before you come down here?
Yeah, which worked perfectly well in Aaron's Thor. You know, no spoilers for what I'm talking about, but you know, it gave me a version of that here, and it works just as well. Yeah. And this is the most this makes me want to go back. Like I went back before the Captain Marvel movie and read the first 2 Captain Marvel stories by Kelly Sue, and I really enjoyed them. And now, so it makes me wonder what else that she's written that I can go back and read, because I'm really loving this Aquaman stuff. So, and that's what you kind of want as a writer, right? Someone that you're not that familiar with, that it makes you want to go back and see what else they've done.
Yeah.
Cool. What are you giving Aquaman, Matt?
I'm giving it 8.5.
Ooh. Connor?
I'll give it an 8, knocking off half a point for the ending.
Oh, jeez.
I'm giving it an 8 as well, although I don't have the same problems as Connor does with anything. So that'll take us on to the final new book of the week. I mean, I think I forgot to mention at the start, but Connor does have a Patreon book to do.
Yes.
After this.
Oh, I do, don't I?
Yeah. Red Hood's coming to town. So this book we're going to talk about is Naomi issue 5. Brian Michael Bendis and David F. Walker writing, with Jamal Campbell on the art. And this issue certainly revealed a lot about Naomi.
A whole lot.
If you remember last issue, she ended after getting told about her parents' backstory. She got handed this box, which had what looked like kind of a black or white lantern symbol combination on it. She goes to her best friend, and then she kind of reiterates what just happened after that moment with her parents. So it's kind of told in hindsight.
Yeah, I got a little worried when it jumped straight to there. I was like, oh no, what's happened?
Yeah.
Right? Are we going to go back? And no, I mean, Bendis, you know, feel that was the purpose. Is it kind of knock you off balance a little bit?
It was basically just so that someone could react to it all. You know, someone else, you know, her best friend reacts to everything. So she shows up and she's like, hey, look what I can do. And she like forms a suit around her and she like floats in the air and she's got all this light going around her. And there's like this box kind of like basically just kind of just dissolved into her body, and then like it's unlocked all this powers and stuff. And we get this story. Basically, there's a recording there as well from her mother, her real mother, which explains, you know, where she came from. It's not a different planet; it's a different Earth. And basically, we find out that along with the ozone layer, other mystical layers that we didn't understand broke down around the planet, and they had what they called
because of what though?
They called it a crisis. The crisis. And because of that, it basically, a bunch of people became metahumans as a result.
29 of them.
And basically they were hunted. So some wanted to be evil and rule. It was basically an X-Men situation where some of them wanted to rule the world and some didn't. So it became this kind of war. And ultimately they couldn't conceive. But eventually Naomi's parents did manage to conceive, and the existence of Naomi was a threat to this bad guy. Was it Zamongu or something like that? Zamato.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
So he wanted to try and kill her. So that's why they tried to rush her off to a different Earth, somewhere that he would never find her. And that's why she's here. And the box unlocks her powers, and she is who she is now.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's telling all this.
Yeah, I love the confusion of Annabelle, her friend. She's like, so wait, Dee's your dad? Well, no, but my dad, he's an alien, but so is my dad. Wait, which dad? Your real dad or the dad who raised you? Yes. Like there's this whole thing. And it's kind of what I feel Connor hates about Bendis, but I love.
Oh, sure.
It's the banter back and forth.
I love it.
And it really,
you're right. That is what I hate.
I love that full page, that 2-page spread of like their crisis happening, where stuff's falling out the sky. Is a really nice page. A lot of it is, admittedly, but that's really good. There's a lot of 2-page spreads actually, as they're explaining all this backstory, and Campbell's just going nuts with his art. Really, really, really good. And she gets these powers, but the big cliffhanger at the end is that by using this box, it's basically revealed where she is in the multiverse, and this bad guy shows up at the end. The final page is like, oh, now I know who you are and where you are, and just in time. So he shows up at the end. He's a big bulky dude.
Yep. He was on death row and getting ready to be executed
when he got powers.
When the crisis happened, when he got powered, and then he used that as justification. And I almost felt like it's this cult around him, and those are the people that we're pursuing. So I didn't think about it being very X-Men until Pete had said that. But there's a very X-Men-ish quality, or Rising Stars. I don't know if you ever read that. It's been a while. Rising Stars was the J. Michael Straczynski book from the late 90s, where a meteor had went over Earth, and basically people being born at that moment were gifted superpowers. And like the one that was the most powerful was conceived at the exact moment. His name was Poet, and he was like this super emo. I forget what his powers were, and basically them being born with these powers changes the direction of Earth and whatnot. And here it's very much of that, where these 29 people were given powers, and it completely causes chaos. And you have some of them leave, some of them stay. The ones that stay end up rising to meet Zimbato, and like, I want to see this world now. Like, I was worried that he was just going to make it Gem World, right? Like, a crisis, because he's writing that in Young Justice. And then when we got to all this backstory, I was like, oh no, this is its own thing. So I want to see, I hope maybe that's what the next volumes of Naomi goes to, or the next seasons.
I expect to see more of it. I think what I like about this book is how it's genuinely been this new and interesting thing where we didn't know where it was going. We guessed some weird things, but nothing really panned out. It was just, it's different Earth, different, it's
well, and we felt like, oh, it's Rand and Thanagar. He's using, these DC things, but really, Dee and her dad being there had no impact of her showing up on that football field still.
Oh yeah, no, that was almost like an intentional kind of like red herring for us as fans trying to figure out what was going on. But at the same time, it works because like the reason why they were drawn to that portal opening is because of their tech and because they're alien.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But her mother still would have came through that because she was, seeking refuge on Earth with her daughter. And again, it's almost Superman in that way. It's, the Moses story.
Yeah.
So, oh man, it's really good. I wish Connor would read this. It is the most indie book feeling book I feel that DC's putting out right now, because I was getting vibes from Birthright. Not necessarily she's this chosen one, but like, she's this person out of her element right now and figuring things out.
Yeah.
That's cool, but I'm reading a lot of indie books by people I do like, so I'm good.
Well, but they don't have Rand and Thanagar in them, Connor.
Yeah, and this I think will connect to the greater DCU at some point. I think Bendis is building her up, and it's going somewhere.
Well, and again, I don't feel like there's this chosen one, but I do feel like she's been influenced by Superman, right? Like, there's this girl that felt, a kinship with him, and their stories, not that they're that similar, but there's a similarity to them.
I'd almost be willing to bet that at some point she's going to show up and save Superman when he's in trouble.
Yeah, that'd be cool. What if Zumato, Zumundo, whatever his name was, what if he's that big of a threat that he can take on Superman?
Hmm.
And it's gonna be Naomi that helps out. Like, I'm loving this character, and I've seen a lot of people just be, they're not gonna be happy, not in the Connor way, but people are upset over Bendis putting his quote daughter into books, like with Ironheart and Riri Williams, and now Naomi. But I don't feel that at all. Like I feel like Naomi's this character now that stands off on her own, even more so than Riri Williams did.
I mean,
right? Like,
new characters are based on people all the time. Like Stargirl's based on Jeff Johns' sister. Like, who gives a shit where the inspiration comes from?
Well, I feel like these people have an issue with Bendis because they're people of color that are being created.
Yeah, I get that feeling too. That there's some racism going on here. Yes, sneaking feeling.
And that's why they have issues with it. But like, I can kind of see what they're talking about, him creating these new characters. But new characters happen all the time, guys. Like, let's enjoy them. If you don't like Ironheart for whatever reason, that the way that she was wedged in there, because that was my main problem with her. Her entire origin was super clunky. Versus here with Naomi, I feel like, oh no, this is firing on all cylinders. Like,
it's almost like just doing something separate and building it from the ground up is more natural than going, oh hey, here's a new Iron Man.
Yeah, well, but he could have done that even with, like, look how he did Miles. Miles wasn't clunky at all.
No, but obviously that was after that universe's Pete was dead, right? Or there was maybe some crossover or whatever. But that's the point. And it the stuff with Ironheart always felt like, oh hey, that stuff in Thor was successful. Let's just do that.
Yeah.
It kind of felt like that.
So I get you can judge him based off that stuff, but don't wrap him in the same, cloth.
No, I still like his writing.
No, and that's fine.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. The people that have issues with him aren't the stylistic reasons why you don't like Bendis. They're not liking him because of who he's creating as these new characters. So, and as far as I'm concerned, they can shove it. Don't read it then. It's not that hard. I'm enjoying this. So.
No, that was great. No, I mean, has been one of the most exciting books I think for the last few months.
Yeah.
So, and then the art, of course, is fantastic. Campbell's killing it.
Yeah, I saved this book for last now. This is, which is tough sometimes, because like when you see the cover and it's like Naomi's origin, I wanted to read it first thing on Wednesday, but I was like, nope, I'm gonna build up to it. This is gonna be dessert. I'm gonna get through Justice League. So.
No, I read this first.
Yeah. But yeah, it's so good. I'm loving what's going on here.
Yeah, no, it's fantastic. It's got this great sense of wonder, and she's really excited to have power. She's excited to be who she is and maybe have purpose. But now we have this villain as well, so really good. So, what are you giving it?
It's a 9. Yep.
I don't think Matt's given any of these issues less than a 9.
No, I gave the last one a 10.
That's right, I remember that. I am going to give this one 8.5. So there you go. As Naomi. Which does take us on to Connor's Patreon pick, and I should explain what this is. So yeah, on our Patreon, over at patreon.com/MailFuzzTV, one of the higher tiers is that you can make myself or Connor read a book of your choosing once per month. And the selection picked in this case, and has been for a long time now, is Red Hood and the Outlaws, or of course was retitled to Red Hood Outlaw. So Connor will tell you what issue he's on and who's behind it.
Yeah, that's because you forgot to check beforehand, didn't you? Shambles. It's issue 32.
I've just made a choice not to bother. You can just tell us what it is.
No, sure. Yeah, obviously it's He Who Must Not Be Named on the words.
Yep,
and
that guy.
The art is Steven Segovia. So different artist, new arc, still a good artist. Segovia's solid.
Yeah. Never mad at Segovia.
Yeah. I despise this from the first page. I'm gonna read you the first 4 caption boxes here. Just full page.
This is the closest I've gotten to reading a Lobdell book, and I can't tell you how long.
Caption boxes. Just the first few. This is less than like half a page. I just want to point that out. This is over a big, overlooking Gotham. And she, despite everything you read on the web or watch on cable news, Gotham City is not the scariest, most dangerous city in the world. It isn't a concrete hell. Okay, it is. Like, already I'm just like, I hate this. Why bother? Basically, the premise is, old Jason has taken over the Iceberg Lounge.
Way to take something that I like and run it into the ground, Lobdell.
Yeah. So we basically, have someone interviewing him, going, "Oh, hey, Jason Todd, not one of the names you often hear about when you talk about Gotham City." Oh, I wish. And it's just, him going, "Oh, why did I do it?" Yeah, just, there was an opportunity, and naturally, I asked myself, what would Bruce Wayne do? You cut to Alfred in shock. He's so shocked he actually cuts himself. He's doing something with a knife already. He doesn't go and get it. And his hand slips.
He hasn't intentionally cut himself. Okay.
Yeah, I wanted to make that clear because it sounded really bad when I said it. It's not that bad, but the shock of it. And then we spent about half the issue of him introducing all the new supporting cast, who I'm not going to go through because there's like 12 of them. You got a few people from earlier in the run, I believe. A couple others. And going, oh, these, this is security. This is the accountant. This is the one running the tables. This is the waitress. Like, genuinely, that's how we just got everyone. Okay, this is my Iceberg Lounge staff. Right. Okay. And then the final one we get is Bunker. He's still here. He's hanging around. He's dressed in a purple shirt and a grey suit with purple sunglasses on, because of course he is. Because it's Power Rangers. Yeah. It's a bunch of Falcones going, "Hey, you're cheating. This is bullshit." Jason comes over and is like, "All right, we'll take you up to our exclusive igloo suite." And he's like, "Hey, do you want to take him there, Bunker?" And he takes him there, and it's pretty clear what it is. It's a room made out of his bricks, and they step inside it, and it just closes around them, and they float back to shore. And this is where I don't remember Bunker being this cold. Jason's like, "Oh, will that stay airtight all the way to the docks?" And he's like, "Probably, maybe." I'm like, okay, I don't remember him being like that. I mean, it's been a while, don't get me wrong, but
yeah,
I remember him being quite hopeful. Maybe I don't know. It was Lobdell's character. He can ruin him if he wants to.
He can do whatever he wants with them, and he will.
Yeah, we get a flashback to the end of the last arc, or just before the end of the last arc. It's the prison they were in. Bunker's destroyed it. He's like, "Oh, I'll tear it down," and instead of just destroying it like to rubble, he accidentally created a sinkhole, and it's gone. Like the whole thing is gone. And Jason's like, "Hey, come with me. Be cool." Batman shows up, of course, and it has a horrible thing where it's his big security woman is like, "Hey, I got this," because you can just hear her coming. She hears Batman at the window, doesn't know who it is. So, I've got this, and he's like, "Oh, she doesn't." And then full page spread of Batman knocking her out, and it's not her fault, and the caption says it's not her fault. He is the Batman. He is Batman after all, but Batman is the logo, like you get on the front of the comic, Batman. With the big yellow, right? Yeah, it's that just in the caption box. It's like, he is Batman after all. I'm like, what are you doing? No one ever does this. You can see he is Batman after all without putting the logo in the middle of the panel.
He's the goddamn Batman.
I just preferred that.
Yeah, right.
Like, yeah. But Bruce is like, what the hell are you doing? And he threatens to take. He's like, you're making He goes, you decided to come back. Big mistake. Huge.
The biggest mistake. Biggest I've ever seen.
He goes, big mistake. Huge. And Jason's like, you're not deliberately quoting Pretty Woman, are you? I'm like, what is this? Why is Batman sounding like an idiot all of a sudden?
Because that's what comics in 2019 need, is a Pretty Woman reference.
I know. I know. And Jason
Oh,
puts up his hand. He's like,
God,
all right, all good points. Go on, take me in. And Batman just glares at him. He's like, oh yeah, that's right. It was Red Hood who shot Oswald Cobblepot in the face, not me. I'm sure you can come up with a perfectly good explanation why you're dragging one of your foster kids to the police and charging him with murder. But if you do, I'll talk to Vicky Vale. And all things will be even. So yeah, he just threatens to out Bruce.
So we're getting full-on extortion Red Hood. So he is an outlaw, I guess.
Yeah. He just threatens to out him.
That's where Bruce would throw him into Arkham and lock the door and then fill it with water and be done with it.
Jason even says that. He's like, "Hi, hey, see if you can convince them to send me to Arkham before to disregard any of this. Wouldn't it be a riot if I wound up in Joker's old cell?" And then as Batman jumps out the window, he says, "Oh, stop by any time, Dad." This is terrible. But yeah, no. And then the final page is he's got Cobblepot locked up in a extremely soundproof room. It's like one-way glass. Cobblepot can see out, but he can't hear anything. Yeah. To be continued, to the surprise of no one. That is genuinely the to be continued caption.
I feel he's poking at us now. He knows.
Yeah. One other thing I want to mention that I really hated, because I just remembered when he was going through all the the team members and the new supporting cast. Most of them, not going to bother mention. Don't care. But he gets to finally. There's my wingman. Literally, he's wingman. Long story. I'm guessing. I haven't asked. Like,
it's actually kind of funny though. I'm not gonna complain.
It's not.
It's funny in the cringe way. You know, like how Michael Scott's funny, right? In The Office. It's that type of funny.
Sure.
Matt liked a Lobdell joke. Matt liked a Lobdell joke. Ding, 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 ding.
I'm guessing I haven't asked. Yeah, well, maybe you should either give us the damn backstory or shut up.
Yeah.
This is like a really awkward, obtuse way of trying to say, "Oh, isn't this mysterious?" No one gives a shit.
Hey guys, if you guys are reading this and enjoying it, I want to know, please, if you're listening.
Is it meant to be a mystery though? Or is it just meant to be a joke that it doesn't care? It doesn't care what the backstory is.
I genuinely, I think it's supposed to be telling us that Jason doesn't care, but it's supposed to be a mystery for us because we're still going, "Hey, who's this wingman fella?"
Do we though? Do you care? Do you think about it?
Supposed to. Not saying we are. Intention though. And that's how I can rate this because it fails at what it intends to do. Therefore, it is a 3 out of 10. Segovia's art's fine.
Good. Still too high.
Oh well, okay. I guess that wraps up the books, and we can talk about our favorites. So every week we pick our favorite panel/moment, favorite cover, favorite art, and top 5 books. So Matt, what is your favorite panel/moment from this week's books?
It's the double page spread from Batman where they're on the rooftop. I love it so much. I want to give it to something from Naomi because there's a lot of good in there with the double page and the art's fantastic. But I got to that page in Batman and I was like, oh man, this is great.
I think I have to give it to Batman as well, but I have to give it to Alfred saying that he's lost that page.
Yeah.
Because that's what kind of hit me, like really what was happening here more than anything else. Connor, what's your panel/moment?
Mine's from Aquaman. It's the image of all the bodies going down into the shark's mouth. In the light.
Too.
That's Mike Spent.
Yeah, that going into the underworld panel. I love that.
All right. Best cover of the week. I need to see some variants here, actually.
Yeah, I'm looking. God damn it, DC, put the variants back in.
I know. I'm not seeing the variants properly. I can't remember them.
This is terrible.
It is terrible. I'll have to cover up Matt's face in my end so I can see.
Sorry.
No one's missing anything.
There was a middle finger there for the audio listeners.
Yeah. Okay, I got mine.
Yeah. I'm looking. I mean, Naomi's a good contender for sure. This Superman variant looks interesting. That's pretty good.
I'm not a big fan of it. It's all right. I just
Yeah, the Superman one I like in the thumbnail, but when I look at it up close, I'm
Yeah.
not a fan. It's a little bit too busy for my liking.
And
it's not bad, but I'm not.
Yeah.
Aquaman variant's pretty good too. I'll probably go with the regular Naomi cover though. Campbell's Naomi cover, I think, is my
Hey, me too. That's mine too.
that one. There you go.
It's fair. I'm going with the Justice League variant. I think that's really nice.
Is that the Andrews?
No,
No?
Pena.
Apena, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
All right. Best start of the week, Matt.
Oh, it's Naomi. It's
Connor?
Campbell.
Justice League.
Naomi for me.
No.
There you go, easy. All right, Matt. Top 5 books of the week.
Oh, this is easy. This is 1 Naomi, 2 Aquaman, 3 Batman, 4 Superman, 5 Justice League, with a bullet.
Connor.
I mean, it's Aquaman and then Justice League, isn't it?
And then Batman.
Yeah, you read Batman.
Yeah,
Hey, dummy.
stuff.
You go to infinity, dummy.
I'll have Naomi at number 1 as well. I will then put Batman number 2, then Superman, then Aquaman, and then Justice League is last place. Because obviously, I don't know, it was terrible though. Like, I mean, I didn't. I had a pretty solid week, all things considered, actually. But and then obviously we ask people on Twitter every week. We pay attention to @DC Comics Podcast on the Twitters, because we ask you every week and we get some answers for you guys what your favorite books are. At Ben Kaiser Music, Batman 71, King's esoteric take on the Dark Knight is approaching its last quarter, and the stakes and tension are reaching a crescendo. Both artists are capturing the right tone, and I'm excited to see the last onslaught before Batman turns the tables on Bane and Flashpoint Batman. There you go. At Tim's Corner Comics, Teen Titans is my favourite book of this week. It's short and sweet, but I thought I'd mention that
Cool.
someone's enjoying Teen Titans. Good to know.
Yeah, cool. I'm happy for you.
At McComb Factor, at Comb Factor. So his name is the McComb Factor, but the handle's just at Comb Factor. Gosh, I loved all the books I read this week, but I think Aquaman takes the cake. I loved the walk down memory lane. I love the character story since the start of the New 52. And then another familiar book here, at Ron Freelick. Batman 71 was another winner, but I do suspect we're still in nightmares, though the arc was supposedly over. I think the backstage
don't think so.
shenanigans at play here. Curious to see when Bruce really wakes up from this. Teen Titans also got an honorable mention. You guys should be reading Teen Titans. That's 2 Teen Titans votes. I don't know.
Don't tell me what to do.
People seem to like Teen Titans.
That's a sure way to ensure that I won't do it.
Yeah.
What's weird is I do know a few people who are reading Teen Titans who really didn't like the last bit. I think it just had a crossover with Deathstroke, and thought it was had gotten worse. So I don't know. That's weird.
Hey,
Mixed messaging.
Yeah.
people like what they like.
And we got some other responses as well for Naomi, Batman, and Aquaman. So those tended to be the favourites. Interesting, no Justice League at all this week. And the picks.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, that's what it is. But yeah, so that basically brings an end to the show for most part. I'll tell you what's coming next week once I load it up, because
And see how many things have been pushed to week 5 that we didn't know.
yeah, that's true. Yeah, that may have happened.
Every time, I swear, something slips, doesn't it? That we never know about till the week before.
So coming up next week, why the hell is Doomsday Clock 11 still on that list when 10's not even out until the following week? I'll just take that away. So coming up next week, we have Detective Comics 1004, Action Comics 1011, Wonder Woman 71, The Flash 71, Batgirl 35, Justice League Dark issue 11, The Terrifics issue 16, The Silencer issue 17. Is Batman Damned issue 3 out next week?
No.
No, okay, well I can go. All right, easy. Dial H for Hero issue 3, Freedom Fighters issue 6, and Martian Manhunter issue 5. Those last couple are subject to change for us, but
No, they're on there.
No, they're out.
Oh yeah. Is that what you're saying? I'll be reviewing Freedom Fighters for sure.
Oh sure. No, I just meant in the sense that depending if we read them or not that they're out or not.
Oh,
They are
gotcha.
out. They're definitely out.
Also, I did not know they were doing an Absolute Black Mirror.
Absolute Black Mirror. Also,
yeah.
if you were a fan of my Justice League team from the beginning of the show,
Who's got a truck backing up outside?
yeah, the garbage is here. Sorry, garbage has been picking up on my street. But no, if you loved my idea of that Justice League, Judd Winnick's Outsiders is being re-released this week. The first trade. Highly recommend it. It's really good. At least I remember it being really good. It might not stand up by today's standards, but mid 2000s comics at its best for me.
It's funny. I'm looking ahead to week 5 here, and we actually do have enough that I don't think we need questions that way, even though it's a week 5, just because the stuff that's out is so big. But we will have more question time in the quieter weeks next month. So if anyone wants to try and somehow give us the question, who would be on your Justice League again, with new rules to make it more complicated, feel free to give it a try. But so
I'm gonna tweet mine out when I'm done with this.
You tweet yours out. You do that. But that is the show. So like I said, at DC Comics Podcast on Twitter. If you would like to follow us and get updates and random DC news and whatever else, but mostly get questions and your favorites of the week when those pop up, you can do that there. You can of course support us on Patreon at patreon.com/MailFuzzTV. We can support us for as little as $1 per month, and you get some bonuses and extras. At the $5 tier, there's a bonus episode of Comics from the Multiverse every month with me and Connor, where we do a trade or a graphic novel. The last one we did, but just went up over a week ago, was Teen Titans Earth 1 Volume 1. It was not a pleasurable experience, so you can go check out that if you're a patron. And then other than that, check out the other stuff we do. You could check out. I mean, obviously, elsewhere in the Multiverse is the companion comic show with other publishers that me and Connor do. There's also Television from the Multiverse, which is a DC TV show podcast. We just did some finales in this week's episode, so that may be worth checking out. For something else that's random, do you like horror movies? We have a horror movie podcast called Screams After Midnight that I do with Tim. Check that out.
Tim the Madman.
Yeah, I might as well tell people about random other things. They may be interested. Not everyone will be, but yeah, you like horror movies? You want to hear me talk about horror movies? There's a whole show for that. So,
egotist.
Well, neither of you are on that show. It had to be me.
Yeah, I know, but it was the way you phrased. You want to hear me talk about horror movies?
I mean, I show up occasionally.
I did not put that spin on it.
When was the last time you showed up, Matt?
It's been a while.
It's been a while, but I've been on before.
It's happened. Yeah. We'll have to get Matt on for Annabelle 3.
I'll be there for. Yeah. Maybe not. Maybe not that one.
What about the Curse of La Llorona? Matt's seen that one. When are you doing that?
Yeah,
I
can.
When it has home video.
Oh, you're slacking.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
The people really wanted to hear in-depth conversation about that
said,
movie.
even Timmy didn't want to go see that. And that's how you know the quality.
They'll get it when it's out on home video. When it's on VOD, we'll do it. It'll happen. But until then, people shall have to endure. Anywho, so yeah, check out stuff. But that has been us. That has been Comics from the Multiverse, episode 155. So thank you once again for watching or listening. We always appreciate it. Keep reading DC Comics, guys, and remember to never get lost in the Speed Force.